the top two questions that I'm seeing very frequently is what should be the preparation strategy for someone who's working, retaking CAT from engineering background. The other session question I'm seeing frequently is about DILR. What should one do for the DILR section? Right? So I'm going to start with DILR. DILR is probably has been the more crucial section in the last 3, 4, 5 CATs from 2015 onward. 15, 16, 17, 18, 4 CATs. And CAT 2019 will be the 5th CAT if they continue to have the same pattern where DILR is noticeably tougher. Right? So what should one do? Cover some basics. Make sure that you know all the standard templates in DILR. Make sure you have a very clear idea of percentages, growth rates, market shares, sequence puzzles, arrangement puzzles, seating arrangement puzzles, some mathematical puzzles, putting people across the table, making them sit facing each other, opposite to each other, putting people around a circle. The basic puzzles. Get comfortable with that. It is important to know that. I'm not saying your exam question will ask you for what is the growth rate or what is the market share, but these basic ones are very important to get comfortable with percentages and manipulating simple numbers as far as the DI end is concerned, and knowing how to arrange stuff, knowing how to write down constraints, knowing how to eliminate bits for the logical reasoning section. How do we go for the tougher bits? For me, the wonderful starting point is going to be the point where you say, I'm going to start with CAT 2017 and 18 papers. And the fabulous sets. That is the mothership as far as this exam is concerned. There are 2 slots. For both slots, the entire papers have been given. There are detailed solutions available from multiple sources on YouTube. We have solved almost all the sets, the last 2 CATs completely, and left it free on YouTube. So you search for DILR CAT 2017, DILR CAT 2018, you'll find everything. There are about 32 sets there. Try about, say, 6 to 10 of them to start with. The chances are you won't get a bunch of those, but you'll get a very clear sense of what is this CAT level DILR. It's very important, especially in DILR. पता नहीं लगता है कौन सा CAT का level में है, कौन सा CAT level में नहीं है. There are too many DILR sets that are too easy and far too many that are way too tough. DILR is tough, but not impossibly tough. ऐसा कुछ भी set नहीं आता CAT में जिसको solve करने में 45 minutes लग जाता है. And there are no impossible sets. So don't go chasing impossible things. So you need to have a very good intuitive sense of kitna set, what is the level of difficulty of CAT. You need to have a very good sense before you jump in and start preparing. So make sure that you do at least 10 of the sets that we've seen in CAT 2017 and CAT 2018. And so both of those are vital. So you'll get 8 plus 8 for the 2 sessions over 2 years. So 32 sets are freely available. Try to solve them, then go through the solutions. And so when you're preparing for this exam, if you prepare for 50 to 60 sets, you're halfway there. But they need to be of the right level of quality, right quality bandwidth that you have. So make sure that you do give or take 1/3 of CAT 2017-18 sets very early. You might not get them right. You might take a lot of time. You might struggle to solve. You might get stuck and it might be dispiriting. Don't worry about any of that. It doesn't matter. You need to have a sense of your level of difficulty hota kya. You cannot get stuck for CAT preparation worrying about questions that are too easy or too difficult. So get this out of the way. After you have done this, pick up some good material. The stress for DILR, I would stress on this over and over again, is not merely the number of sets you do or the level of difficulty. It is very important to get the right pattern or the right process of getting these right. So you need to get into the head of the guy who has got it right, who consistently gets DILR right, who's really good, and then see what his process is. I've noticed this a number of times. I would have solved a DILR puzzle in an elaborate manner. There are 10 statements. My mind works in structure and sequence. So I'll go constraint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and accommodate that, account for all possibilities, and narrow down. There are a bunch of guys who have a flair for solving DILR. They'll go straight, pick constraint number 6 and say, bas yahi se shuru karna. This is the best one. Then I'm looking at 3, then 10. Then if you do it in that order, the whole puzzle just opens up. And so after seeing a bunch of solutions and answer keys, I've started thinking about breaking my originally very structured process. So now I'll say, look, I don't want to start with constraint number 1 or 2 or 3 or go in a sequence. I will see which is the best place to crack this open from. And that you'll get better and better. 1, with practice. two, it's seeing the guys who cracked it the textbook way. So see the solutions, even if you've got it right, and then see the outline of that solution. The guys who are good at solution solving will usually say, look, I looked at constraint 3. It seems juicy, but it gives me too many possibilities. I'm going to start with constraint 7. It brings me down. I know this for sure. And then I think about the other conditions and then come back. And so, and hang in there. In your exam, remember for DILR, the level of difficulty is high. Correspondingly, the bar is very, very low. Remember, you get 2 sets right, you're looking at 90th percentile, right? And there will be one DILR set which is very doable, very doable. If you can knock that off in 15 minutes, then you have 45 minutes to crack one set to get to 90th percentile. Great many of us are not shooting to get 99.99. हमें बस 96 चाहिए, 95 चाहिए, or 91 चाहिए. 91st percentile is a very good percentile to crack open a bunch of colleges. If you're saying I'm looking at 91, then if you get 2 sets right, DILR is not a weakness area, it is a strength area. It becomes a very powerful, strong suit. So all you need to do is crack 2 sets. So keep that in mind. So if you're practicing 10 sets from existing last 2 years DILR, you have to say there are 10 available here. In my first round, I'm going to try all 10. All I'm looking for is to somehow be able to solve 3 of them, no matter how much time I take. That is very vital. So if you can get that, then you're through, then you're done. And so focus on iterating. Remember that this is tough. Stress enormously on solutions. Stress a lot on the thought process. Just जिसने इसको crack किया है, you have to get into his head. You have to think about the way he's cracking it. You have to say, तो ये से next time around I get a set like this, मुझे भी 5th constraint से शुरू करना चाहिए. I need to be the guy who's thinking that this is the best place to start, and that is very vital. So if you're very clear about that thought process, then you'll be good. So make sure that you see the solutions from the guys who have cracked it to know what the best starting point is. Like cracking a puzzle, cracking a lock. The best locksmiths will know where to give it a knock, and then it will open up. So it is not about hitting it powerfully. It is not about doing things quickly. It's about knowing the right starting step. That right starting step, one obviously comes with practice, but practice has to be with some nuance. कुछ तो practice करने के लिए एक अच्छा तरीका होना चाहिए. So make sure that you're cracking it open and learning how to do this better and better from the guys who are doing it, from the guys who are bloody good at it, from the guys who know how to crack this, from the guy who set the puzzle. So you keep, whenever I set a puzzle, I'll make it a point to order my constraints and create a puzzle in a way that the whole thing becomes very easy if it is done in one sequence, and not that easy if that sequence is missed. I'll bend over backward to make sure that जितने भी लोग हैं कंस्ट्रेंट 4 से शुरू करते हैं उनके लिए बहुत ईजी है, और जितने भी लोग उसको मिस कर देते हैं उनको तो 30 मिनट लगना ही चाहिए. To me it is men and boys. I'll say the guy who gets what the juiciest thing is, I want to reward that person really a lot. So I will set question after question after question with the idea that it gets cracked open if you start at the right place, and it's very tough if it doesn't start open. Someone, Yash has asked, is it possible to develop this quality? Bilkul. So it comes with practice. It comes with practice and going through the solution. I've seen so many people rack up puzzle after puzzle after puzzle after puzzle, but not really get the funda because to them it's binary. अगर मेरे को आ गया तो मेरे को आ गया, नहीं आया तो यार ये तो बहुत difficult था, नहीं आने वाला है. So the whole idea is to think about जो नहीं आ रहा है, how am I going to get it done the next time? What am I learning from this iteration? That part is very crucial. So make sure you jump in and learn that funda. Learn what the cracking open part is. And it's very important, especially for this DILR with this many people providing sets, to have a nice intuitive sense of level of difficulty kya hai. Because there are so many instances where the level of difficulty is out of whack. And there are so many DILR sets जो बहुत ही easy है, and far more which are too difficult. ये इतना tough है कि बिल्कुल नहीं आएगा exam पे. So the guys, the test creators, guys like me who are there, we've all noticed that we need to change our game. And the clearest indicator is that हमें level of difficulty बढ़ाना है. तो level of difficulty बढ़ाना बहुत double-edged sword. You have to increase it very carefully. It is very easy to create a test set which is impossible to solve or nearly impossible to solve, and there are so many of them. And sources to practice DILR from, to me, the mothership clearly is CAT 2017, CAT 2018. And there are a bunch of, beyond this, so there are 32 sets available here. Beyond this, there are 10 sets completely solved and freely available on the 2IIM question bank. There are 42 sets. एक सेट को सॉल्व करके उसको सॉल्यूशन देख के उसका वीडियो सुन के करने में 45 मिनट लग जाएंगे. So there are 30 hours worth freely available content of fantastic questions available on the internet for free. Almost all of them available on the 2IIM website for free. Find these, give these a go, and then you're good. And that's be my number one place, especially because they'll give you a clear indication of, clear sense of a level of difficulty. That is very vital. Best wishes for this. Definitely get on board and have a ping on the group. We post an article almost every day. Bharat is reasonably religious about it, so make sure that you ping there to get the reading list, the curated list. It's very good. We post some wonderful questions with detailed solutions. We have some golden rules. Any question we give, we will have solutions for those. Not just an answer key or a 2-word solution, but thorough solution, with most of them being video solutions. And so we post 6, 8, 10 questions on quant and DILR every day with video solutions. And so check out the group. Also, the YouTube channel gives about 400 videos worth of wonderful content. Go through that. And so best wishes for all of you. Enjoy this preparation phase. Don't let the competitive thing or the preparation stress get to you. And so have the sense of enjoying the process as much as possible. End outcome matters slightly less than the journey itself. And best wishes, guys. Have fun. Just some CAT DILR slot 1 2018, wonderful set of questions, nice and tough as well. So please make sure you have tried these before you come and watch the solution. This is not a movie. If you have not tried and you can't just recall the term DI, WE, GA, composite score and all that, then there's no value in this. Right? Let's go to this one. A company administers a written test comprising 3 sections, not comprising of 3 sections. Of 20 marks each, DI, WE and GA. A composite score is done by doubling DI marks. So composite score is doubling DI marks and then adding it to the sum of the other 2 marks. Wonderful. Candidates who score less than 70% in 2 or more sections are disqualified. 70% of 20 is 14. Less than 14 in 2 or more sections, you'll get disqualified. From among the rest, 4 highest composite scores are recruited. The 4 people with the highest composite scores are recruited. If 4 or fewer candidates qualify, all who qualify are recruited. If only 3 candidates qualify, we'll be recruiting only 3. We'll not make up the 4th one. Their marks in the test are given in the table below. Obviously, as usual, there are some numbers that are empty. There'll probably be something in the story that helps us fill all this in. Right? So this looks like something where we'll fill a bunch of things and probably have only one final table or get most of the stuff filled and then jump onto the questions. Right? Wonderful. So this is the information given that's going to help us fill the table. No 2 candidates had the same composite score. Good. Unique composite score. Ajay was the unique highest scorer in WE. Let's look at this. WE, Esther has got 18. So Ajay has scored 19 or 20 in WE. Among the 4 recruited, so there have been 4 recruited, so 4 satisfy all criteria. Geeta had the lowest composite score. So Geeta is in. Indu was recruited. Brilliant. Danish, Harini and Indu had scored the same marks in GA. Indu and Jatin both scored 100% in exactly 1 section. And Jatin's composite score was 10 more than Indu's. So Jatin has scored 20 in 1 section. Indu has also scored 20 in 1 section. Might be the same section, might not be. Whatever Indu's composite score is, Jatin's was 10 more than Indu's. Indu's in, and so is Geeta. And so I'm going to fill in. This one looks like a juicy criteria. I'm going to put in something with 20 marks. So let's start with that. So first up, we fill the composite scores for the people whom we know all three scores for. Chetna, 19, 4 and 12. 19 into 2, 38. 38 plus 4, 42 plus 12, 54. Esther, 12 into 2, 24 plus 18, 42 plus 16, 58. Falak, 30, 37, 47. Wonderful. So far, so good. Now we know Jatin has scored 20 in one section. It's got to be this. The other 2 marks we know. So 20 into 2 is 40. 40 plus 16, 56 plus 14, 70. Indu has scored a total of 60 because she scored 10 less than Jatin. We know that Geeta is in, Indu is in. Obviously, Jatin should also be in. He scored more than 14 in 2 sections. And he scored a higher composite score than Indu. Right? Wonderful. And we know that Ajay should have got 19 or 20. We also know that Danish, Harini and Indu have scored the same mark in GA. We know Jatin has got 70. We know Indu has got 60. Jatin is in, Indu is in, Geeta is in. Wonderful. Now let's look at this. We know that Indu has scored 20 in one of the 3 sections. It's not this. So either for Indu, either GA is 20 or DI score is 20. If her DI score were 20, her WE is 8, then her GA score should be 20 into 2, 40 plus 8 she has got from just these 2. Her total composite score is 60. So 40, this should be 12. If GA were 20, then she has 8 in this. Her composite score is 60. 28 we have accounted for. So the remaining 32 should come from this. DI should be 16. Now remember, we know that Indu got selected. With 28 and 12, she cannot get selected. But there are 2 sections below 14. So this possibility is ruled out. This one works. Brilliant. So this should be 20. This should be 16. This is 20. This is 20. We're filling in quite a lot of data points. So let's fill all those in. 20, 20, 20, 16, 20, 70, 60. Because Danish has got 20, Danish's overall CS score will be 8 into 2, 16 plus 15, 31 plus 20, 51. And we know that Jatin is in, Indu is in, and Geeta is in. Let's think about this. Geeta is in, and we know Ajay has got 19 or 20. If you can zero in, that will be brilliant. So Ajay's composite score, 8 into 2 is 16. 16 plus 16 is 32. So Ajay has scored either 32 plus 19 or 32 plus 20. 32 plus 19 is 51. 32 plus 20 is 52. 51 is not possible because Danish has got 51 and everyone should have got a unique CS. This is ruled out. I'm going to put this as 20. Now think about this. Geeta has been selected. So Geeta's composite score, 14 into 2 would be 28, plus 6 is 34. 34 plus whatever she can get in WE would be her composite score. Now, the maximum she could get in WE is 19. It's not even 20. It would have been 20, but Ajay has got 20 and Ajay has got the unique highest score. So even if it were 20, it would take us only to 54, but she can go maximum to 53. So maximum score Geeta can get is 53, which means Esther is in. Geeta has got the 4th highest CS scores among those selected. Esther is definitely in because higher than 14, higher than 15, higher than Geeta as far as composite scores are concerned. So Esther, Geeta, Indu and Jatin are the 4 candidates who get selected. And we do not know how much Geeta has scored. Maybe 19, taking her to a total of 53. Maybe not. We'll have to figure that out. So Ajay should have got 20. This much we know. Right? So now think about this. Geeta could not have got 20. She might have got 19 or 18 or 17 or 16. If she'd got 19, her composite score would be 53. If she's got 18, her composite score would be 52, which Ajay has got, and Ajay satisfies those criteria. Or Geeta should have scored 19 in order to be the fourth highest among those selected. She should have got more than 52. So 53 works. Geeta should have scored 19. So wonderful. We've got the composite scores of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. We know Jatin, Indu, Geeta and Esther are selected. We know the remaining 6 are not selected. We know the scores of everything except Bala in DI and Harini in WE. These two we do not know. Everything else we know. Right? There is no information about these two. So I'm going to jump into the questions and see if we can solve those. Right? Which of the following must be true? Jatin's composite score was more than that of Danish. So Jatin's got 70. This is definitely true. Danish only 51. True. Indu scored less than Chetna and DI. Indu scored 16. Chetna scored 19. Definitely true. Jatin scored more than Indu in GA. Indu's got 20 in GA. So this is not true. 1 and 2 are both true. Choice D. Let's go to the next one. Which of the following statements must be false? Bala scored same as Jatin in DI. Same as Jatin in DI. This means Bala should have scored 20. Is that possible? Possible. No condition goes right. Bala's composite score would be 40 plus 20, 60. But he still could not have got selected because these two are less than 14. However, this is 20 and this goes to 60. Then these two numbers will end up being the same, and that is not possible. So Bala scored as same as Jatin in DI cannot be true, must be false. This is a choice we are looking for. Let's eliminate the others as well. Bala's composite score was less than that of Esther. Esther's is 58. Bala's, could it be less than 58? Yeah, it could be. Bala's could have scored only 10 here. 10 into 2, 20, 20 plus 20, 40. Possible. Or 11 or 12. So this is possible. We cannot say must be false. Chetna scored more than Bala and DI. Chetna scored 19. Could Bala have scored 18 or 17 or 16? Again, possible. We cannot say it must have been false. Harini's composite score was less than that of Falak. Falak's is 47. Harini's less than Falak. 5 into 2, 10. 10 plus 20, 30. Between 13 or 14, yeah, possible. The only thing that must have been false is the first one. If all the candidates except Ajay and Danish had different marks in DI, Bala's composite score was less than Chetna's composite score, then what is the maximum marks Bala could have scored in DI? Everyone should have scored a different thing. Bala's composite score less than Chetna's. Think about this. Chetna's composite score is 54. 9 plus 11 is 20. So we call this as X. 20 plus 2X is the composite score. If this were equal to 54, X should be 17 or X should be less than 17. Bala's composite score was less than Chetna's composite score. So we can forget about 20, 19, 18, 17. You can forget that. We're thinking about numbers less than 16. Start with 16. 16, is it possible? Indu has scored 16. So 16 is not possible. 15 is not possible. 14 is not possible. 16, 15, 14 are not possible. Maybe we can try 13. 13 into 2 is 26. Plus 9 plus 11. 6, 1, 3, 4. 46 as an overall composite score, nobody else has 46. Harini could have something different. 13, nobody has got 13. The overall score will be less than Chetna's. So 13 is possible. 13 is our best case scenario. If all the candidates score different marks in WE, then what is the maximum marks Harini could have scored in WE? Different marks. So we want maximum. Let's start from 20. 20 is ruled out. 19 is ruled out. 18 is ruled out. Maybe Harini scored 17. If you put the 17, then composite score will be 10 plus 17, 37 plus 20. 10 plus 17, 27 plus 20, 47. Which is not possible because Falak has 47. So 17 is also ruled out. 16 is ruled out. 15 is ruled out. Maybe 14 will work. 14 gives us a composite score of 10 plus 14, 24 plus 20, 44. Which nobody else has. That will work. So a WE score of 14 for Harini satisfies all the conditions given. That can work. A wonderful, wonderful set. Do try this set before you come to the solution part. And second is the question from CAT 2018 DILR slot 1. And again, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful question based on set theory. Before we go further, straight away the caveat. Please look at this video if and only if you have tried this set. You need to be very comfortable with the terminology, the terms, the jargon. This is not like watching a movie. So make sure you've spent time in trying this set out. You're familiar with the terms. Right? So, and then jump in. Only then you can take value from this. Right? I'm going to jump in. Satellites. 1,600 satellites were sent up by a country for several purposes. The purposes are broadcasting, communication, surveillance, and others. B, C, S, O. A satellite can serve multiple purposes. So it can be broadcasting and communication, communication and surveillance, surveillance and others, broadcasting, communication and surveillance. So this is a set theory question straight away. You're going to have some Venn diagrams and circles and all of that. However, a satellite serving either B or C or S does not serve O. So O is distinct from B, C, S. So imagine the Venn diagram. If you get this done in step 1, then you're through. If you don't get this done, then you're toast. And it's impossible if you don't get the right Venn diagram. I won't say impossible, but very, very, very difficult. This sentence right here gives you a killer Venn diagram. You've got to start with that Venn diagram. Otherwise, we are in jail. There is no overlap between B and O. There's no overlap between C and O. There's no overlap between S and O. Or think about this, the diagram should have B, C, S in some form and O separate. Brilliant, that's very important. The following facts are known about the satellites. The number of satellites serving B, C and S, though may not be exclusively, are in the ratio 2:1:1. So looking at a diagram like this is where B, C, S, the ratio is 2:1:1. O is separate. The number of satellites serving all three of B, C, and S is 100. This intersection here is 100. I'm going to draw this Venn diagram beautifully in the next couple of slides. But I'm just taking in the information. The number of satellites exclusively serving C is the same as the number of satellites exclusively serving S. And this number is 30% of the number of satellites exclusively serving B. We're talking about this number, and this number. The number of satellites serving O is the same as the number of satellites serving both C and S, but not B. Diagram is too complicated. I'm going to go to a bigger diagram and fill all this data and then look at the constraints. Right? After this, we are down to the questions. I don't think we have enough information to solve this grid and get all numbers. But that's just equal to, not equal to, and the ratio. There's only one number given. And so there's going to be some variable. I think my gut feel is we're not going to be able to completely plot out the grid. But let's fill it out any which way. This is how the diagram looks. This we are clear about. The total is 1600. And so we know that this number is 100.
we know that this ratio is 2:1:1. Okay. And so we fill this. The number of satellites exclusively serving C is equal to the number of satellites exclusively serving S. These two are equal. There's 30% of the number of satellites exclusively serving B. This where Y, this is 0.3Y, this is 0.3Y. The number of satellites serving O is the same as the number of satellites serving both C and S, but not B. So this number, C and S but not B, is equal to this number. If we put this as some K, this will also be K. Now the wonderful part here, there's a 100K and 0.3Y here, 100K and 0.3Y here. C and S are symmetric. The numbers are identical. The total is also same, or these two numbers should also be same. We can write this as X minus K minus 100 minus 0.3Y, which is what I'm going to call it as M. These two are equal. We know that M plus 0.3Y plus K plus 100 is X. And so we have X, K, Y and M. Not 4 variables, only 3, because X and M are linked, or these are linked. There's one linkage which we already have. Okay. It doesn't look like we can solve this straight away, but we will get somewhere with some variables. And what can we get? We know that this set B is twice of this set C, and we know that the total is 1600. So let's use both of them. And so we know that Y plus 2M plus 100, Y plus M plus 100 is 2 times 100 plus M plus K plus 0.3Y. Wonderful. So Y plus 2M plus 100 is 200 plus 2M plus 2K plus 0.6Y. Luckily the 2M goes away. This 100 comes this side, 200 minus 100 is 100. This 0.6Y can come this side. 0.4Y equals 100 plus 2K. There is something linking Y and K. So we know that 0.4Y is 100 plus 2K. Multiplying by 5 by 2 to get Y. Y equals 250 plus 5K. I'm taking this equation and multiplying by 5 by 2. I don't like the decimal 0.5. I don't want to deal with the decimal or a fraction when I'm writing an equation. So Y equals 250 plus 5K. Brilliant. This is one equation we've got. The other equation, add everything together. That is Y plus 0.3Y plus 0.3Y plus 2M plus 2K, M and M, K and K plus 100 equals 1600. And so, or we have 1.6Y plus 2M plus 2K plus 100 is 1600. 1.6Y plus 2M plus 2K is 1500. We know that Y is 250 plus 5K. So 1.6 into 250 plus 5K plus 2M plus 2K is 1500. 1.6 into 250 is 400 plus 8K plus 2K, 10K plus 2M is 1500, or 10K plus 2M is 1100, or 5K plus M is 550. We already know that 250 plus 5K equals Y. We know that 250 plus 5K equals Y. We know 5K plus M equals 550. Fine, wonderful. So we can get a link between M and Y also. We have a link between K and M, K and Y, and M and Y. So let's put these in. So I'm going to capture these two as equations. 250 plus 5K is Y. 5K plus M is 550. Obviously, solving for k and m and y is not possible. And we know we have only two equations, that the number of elements in B is twice number of elements in C, and the total is 1600. We don't have anything else. And so we can write this maybe differently. We can say 5k is y minus 250 plus m equals 550, or y plus m equals 800. That's one other way of framing the same set of equations. Y and m add up to 800. And so another way of writing the same equation. Same two equations, we are combining in a different way. But we haven't got anything more than this. And so we have not dealt with anything with x. And we know that with y, k and m, if you have one of these, we can have the other two. These three are linked. If you have y, you can find k. If you have y, you can find k, and with k, you can find m. If you have m, you can find k and then y. Any one, you can find the other two. If you're given one nugget, then everything else falls in place. When we have three variables and two equations, we can form only two equations. The grid cannot be completed. But if you have one nugget, then we are through. And now jump into the questions. What best can be said about the number of satellites serving C? Number of satellites serving C is m plus k plus 0.3y plus 100. So 0.3y can be written in terms of k. We know y is 250 plus 5k. So let's write this in terms of k. So m plus k, plus 0.3 into 250 plus 5k plus 100, which is m plus k plus 75 plus 1.5k plus 100. This is 175 and 2.5k. M plus 2.5k plus 175. Wonderful. But we have something linking m and k as well. M is 550 minus 5k. We can write that. So this is 550 minus 5k plus 2.5k plus 175. 550 plus 175, that is 650, 725. This is 725 minus 2.5k. This is what set C is. Wonderful. Now let's look at this. Obviously, the answer is not in terms of one value. And so we know the expression is 725 minus 2.5k. So the maximum this can be is 725. Must be between 400 and 800 is probably true, but not good enough. Cannot be more than 800. It's also probably true. Must be at least 100 is also probably true. Saying what best can be said. So let's try to find the minimum and maximum. The maximum C can take is 725 when k is 0. Can we put k as 0? If you put k as 0, y is 250, k as 0, m is 110. That is possible. Sorry, m is 550. Both are possible, nothing seems to be violated. Now, to find the minimum, then k should be maximum. So think about this. 5k plus m is 550. If you put m as 0, k will be maximum. So k should be, k max is 110. So we could have 110 as k and y as 800. That is a possibility. So k max is 110. 2.5 into 110 is 275. So C minimum is 725 minus 275, which is 650, 450. Or the minimum value C can take is 450, maximum is 725. This is very appropriate. Remember, these are all true, but these are not the best that can be said about C. So don't just look at a choice, evaluate whether it is true or not, and mark the answer. This is the best description of the number of satellites serving C. What is the minimum possible number of satellites serving B exclusively? So we want to find minimum Y. We know that 250 plus 5k is Y. K can be 0. We've already seen that. If k is 0, then Y is minimum. Y minimum is 250. This will be 250. This will be 550. This will be 550. That is still a complete grid. That is possible. Minimum Y is 250. Exclusively serving B, 250. If at least 100 of the 1600 satellites were serving O, what can be said about the number of satellites serving S? We know K is greater than or equal to 100. Fine, that much we know. S, we've already found the expression for S because we found it for C. C and S are the same total number, 725 minus 2.5k. 725 minus 2.5k. We know that k is greater than or equal to 100. We know that k is less than or equal to 110. It's greater than or equal to 100. So k minimum is 100. K maximum is 110. 2.5k min is 250. 2.5k max is 275. If we put k as a minimum, then S will be maximum, or S maximum is 475. S minimum is 450. Wonderful. So now let's look at the statement. At least 475. Maximum is 475. Exactly 475. Not required. At most 475. This is true. The maximum possible value for S is 475. The number of satellites serving at least 2 among B, C and S is 1200. Which of the following must be false? Or this you get a full information. At least 2 out of the 3, that is M plus K plus 100. 2M plus K plus 100 is 1200. 2M plus K is 1100. We know that 2M plus K is 1100. We know that 2M plus 10K is also 1100. This is this into 2. 2M plus K is 1100. 2M plus 10K is also 1100. Or K is 0. This is 0. This is 0. Which immediately gives us M is 550. $250 plus 5k is y. Y should be 250. We've got everything. This should be 75. This should be 75. We've got a complete grid now. So which of the following must be false? All 1600 satellites serve B or C or S. This is true. This is 0. The number of satellites serving C cannot be uniquely determined. It can be uniquely determined because we have everything here. This must be false. The number of satellites serving B exclusively is exactly 250. True. The number of satellites serving B is more than 1000. 550 plus 550, 1100, 1200, 1450. Yeah, this is also true. Must be false is statement 2. Fine. Wonderful set, wonderful question. Definitely these sets, try them, hang in there, and then look at the solutions. We're doing CAT 2018 DILR. This is from slot 1. Wonderful, wonderful, fabulous question. Fine. You're given. Let's read this. I'm going to assume you've read it. I'm going to assume you've tried it quite a bit. You need to get. I'm going to jump into the solving part. So if you're just seeing this for the first time, it's probably tricky. Take some time out. Try the set. You're given an n by n square matrix to be filled with numerals so that no two adjacent cells have the same numeral. Two cells are called adjacent if they touch each other horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. Wonderful. So if I have a cell like this, something here would be adjacent, something here would be adjacent, something here would also be adjacent. A side in common or a vertex in common, then the cells are called adjacent. The cell in the first or last row, so a cell in one of the four corners has three cells adjacent to it. That's correct. So if you're in this top left corner, you'll have the right, bottom, and diagonally down. A cell in the first or last row or column, which is not in the corner, has 5 cells adjacent to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any other cell has 8 cells adjacent to it. Wonderful. So very clearly defined as to what adjacent cells are. Oh, we're jumping into questions straight away. What is the minimum number of different numerals needed to fill a 3 by 3 square matrix, 5 by 5, and then etc, etc, etc. I'm not going to read all the questions because we have not been given much of a solving grid. We need to jump into the questions and solve them one by one. And so let's do this. What is the minimum number of different numerals needed to fill a 3 by 3 square matrix? And so I'm going to fill numerals is I'm going to plump in 1, 2, 3, and so on. The best ways to start would be probably the 4 corner cells. Fine. So the corner cells should be all the same because from this corner cells, these 3 are common. These 3 are common. From these 3 are adjacent, not common. So from this cell, these are not adjacent. So they can all be the same number. So wonderful beginning. When vis-a-vis this, we could have some other variant where if you put this corner as 1, this could be 1, this could be 1. But then we would be able to squeeze in only 3 numerals. When three numbers with this, 3 cells with the same number. And so we want to have as many as possible, 4 works. Even before we go further, remember, anything that comes here can come only here. So there's an X here that can be only here. Nowhere else can we have an X. Because to this cell, all of these are adjacent. No 2 adjacent cells can have the same number. This is where X, everything has to be X. Everything else has to be different, not X, sorry. So I'm going to worry about this cell right at the end. The 4 corners, we put 1. And whatever we put here cannot come here, here, or here. It can come at best here. So this and this can go together and we can have a 4 right in the middle. So brilliant. So we could have 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, and a 4 in the middle. So with 4 cells, we can fill this. Fine. So it looks like the minimum number of different numerals needed would be 4. But whenever we get answers like this, it's probably worthwhile to check, to just see if we can do it in fewer. And so how do we check that? So think about this. The middle cell has to be different. X. So if we were able to do it within 3, then the other 8 cells have to be filled with 2 numerals. Whatever's in this corner can go into this corner and into these 2. But only in this combination do we get 4. 8 cells and 2 numerals. So we need to have 4 each. 5 is impossible. 4 each is impossible. So 3 is not possible. 4 works. We know 4 works, which is kind of making sure of that. Right? So wonderful question. We're getting a hang of this. We can do this with 4 different numerals. Let's go on to the next one. What is the minimum number of different numerals needed to fill a 5 by 5 square matrix? We work with a 3 by 3. That's easy. Now we filled out a 3 by 3. A 5 by 5, we can imagine this with a set of 3 by 3s. We know that if this were 1, I could have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 here. And this set of 9 squares, this set of 9 squares, it works beautifully. I could have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. These are non-adjacent cells, but near enough. So with this one here, these 3 are out, but it's finding close enough. If you put a 1 here, it will be a waste, so we'll stick it in here. So we could have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. What do we do next? That'll be interesting. It's the best ways for filling some numbers. What do we do next? I can fill this 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. All these could be same. And then this could be same.
just keeping them 2 cells apart, but keeping as many numerals, as many cells as possible with the same numeral. And so this gives us 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. We have 4, 4, 4, 4 here. Brilliant. We've managed this with 4 numerals. We don't even have to verify this because even for a 3 cross 3, we needed 4 numerals. We've already checked that out. So for a 5 cross 5 with 4 numerals, we can complete this grid pretty much entirely. And so this is just a 3 cross 3 repeated over. If you look at it, this set of 3 cross 3, and then this set of 3 cross 3, the 3 cross 3 right in the middle here. All of these are variants of the same theme. 4 corners with the same number, center number being different, and then 2 pairs outside of that. And so 4 numerals are sufficient to fill in a 5 cross 5. So the minimum number is 4. Suppose you're allowed to make one mistake. That is, one pair of adjacent cells can have the same numeral. What is the minimum number of different numerals required to fill a 5 cross 5 matrix? 5 cross 5 matrix without any errors is 4. And so with one error, maybe we can do it with 3. There's no 3 choice here. All numbers are 4 or more. It's 4. More importantly, this is jam-packed. Suppose we could have these two as same. That doesn't give us much leeway. We're using only 4 numerals. We know instinctively that with 3 numerals and 25 cells, even if one pair could be adjacent, give or take, we're talking about 24 cells broken across 3, 8, 8, 8. It is going to get crowded in some form there. So we simply cannot do it with just 3. With 4, it is possible. So this leeway of with one mistake does not really give us much. So without a mistake is 4. With just one mistake, it's still 4. The choices are friendly and the idea is good as well. Suppose that all the cells adjacent to any particular cell must have different numerals. What is the minimum number of different numerals needed to fill a 5 cross 5 square matrix? Wonderful. So they should have anything adjacent to a particular cell must have a different numeral. So I'm going to fill by putting the threadbare ones in place, thinking about different 3 cross 3s. And so 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1. So 9 different ones, they take their positions. Now we'll put 2s and 3s. Remember, around a cell, all 8 numbers should be different. I'm going to say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And think about this. This is already wrong because this 9 has a 1 here and a 1 here. Our original framework is incorrect. We cannot have 1 and 1 this close to each other. So this cell and this cell will have 2 numbers that are identical to each other. Around each cell, there should be 8 different numbers. All the cells adjacent to any particular cell must have different numerals. That means if you put something here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all 8 should be different. Right. Straight away, the minimum should be 9. In any 3 cross 3, we should have 9 cells, 9 numbers. 4 is out. If we put this as 2, if we want whatever is around here, we should have as many, we should have different numbers occupying each cell. So all 8 should be different and they should be different from this number. And so 9 is the bare minimum. I'm not saying we can do it with 9. We cannot do it with 4. That much we know. Right? Now think about a framework. Right? So we cannot have ones this nearby because this cell will have both of these as common. So no cell can have the same number on 2 adjacent cells. So think about it. If I'm placing 1 digit somewhere, what are the closest the same digit can be kept at? If I have this as 1, this cannot be 1, this cannot be 1, this cannot be 1. That much is obvious. This cannot be 1, this cannot be 1. This cannot be 1 because for this both will be adjacent. This cannot be 1. This cannot be 1. Sorry. All of these are ruled out. If this cell were 1, all of these would be ruled out. I have to go this far or this far to accommodate the next one. So let us go that far and fill in a few ones. A 1, 1, 1, 1. A cell here will have only this one as common, no other one. This one will have only this one as common. This one will have only this one as common. This one will have only this one as common. Around each one is a set of cells that is not having any adjacency with any other one. And we have filled in ones, might as well fill in twos with the same idea sitting there. What do we mean by that? 2, 2, 2, 2. Again, so instead of a 3 cross 3, we are filling these on a 4 cross 4. We've done ones and twos. We're going to pick any one here and a 2 and fill the rest of the numbers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Brilliant. We filled this out. We need a minimum of 9. This is ruled out. We filled ones and twos well spaced out. We know that from a given number, 4 spaces out is good insurance. We've outlined that 4 cross 4 really well. Now we've filled all this nicely. Now, it seems like we don't need 25. We've placed 4 ones and 4 twos. It is between 9 and 16. We've got 9. Can we do it with just 9? And so can we fill these numbers? So look at this square. This is like a Sudoku puzzle now. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8 need to be filled. Right? Think about it. Imagine I'm using the same idea for filling these. This number could be same as this number, 2 steps removed, 6. This could be same as this, 5. This could be 7 and 8. 5 here, 5 here. This could be 5. This could be 5. And so this is 6. This could be 6. This is 6. This could be 6. This is 4. This could be 4. This could be 3. So if you take any 3 cross 3, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you take the middle 3 cross 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any 3 cross 3 will have the numerals from 1 to 9 in some order, each coming only once. So we can do this with exactly 9 numbers. And wonderful, wonderful, wonderful question. Classically tough. We're just using the same pattern that we had used for the filling the first ones. Ones and twos we stuck in, and then we put around a 1 and then said every 4th cell is non-controversial. Things can fit in there and quite comfortably and as tightly as possible. So there's a pattern to filling the numbers there. We can fill the entire grid with numbers from 1 to 9. Each cell, all the cells surrounding it, adjacent to it, will have different digits. The condition is satisfied. The multi-layered pie chart below shows the sales of LED television sets for a big retail electronics outlet during 2016 and 17, 2 years. The outer layer shows the monthly sales during the period, with each label showing the month followed by a sales figure. For some months, the sales figures are not given in the chart. It's a usual typical thing. So we usually have some question where there are some missing numbers. So it's like a puzzle. So we figure out that puzzle, fill the missing numbers, and then we do the data interpretation part of it. The middle layer shows the aggregate, quarter-wise aggregate. So add up 3 months and then get the quarter-wise aggregate. That's what is going to stay in the quarter. Again, aggregate data is not given for few numbers. There are few more missing numbers. The innermost layer shows annual sales. So we keep adding up 3 months to a quarter, 4 quarters to a year. It is known that the sales figures during the 3 months of the second quarter of 2016 form an arithmetic progression.
So do the 3 months monthly sales figures in the fourth quarter of that year. So Q2 2016 and Q4 2016 form an AP. And the AP idea is very useful. Remember, in any arithmetic progression, the middle term is the average of the 3 terms. Average of n terms. Here there are 3 terms. Middle term is the average of 3 terms. Wonderful. This is the diagram. I'm going to jump in and solve, write down whatever we know straight away. Find whatever we can figure out straight away. Think about this. Q1, we have January, February, and March. So we can write this total. 80 plus 60, 140 plus 100, 240. Q2, we know April, we don't know May and June. We'll come back to that. Q3, we know July, August, September. 75 plus 55 is 80, 130 plus 120, 250. This we know. Q4 adds up to 360. We don't know November and December. But remember, these 3 terms are in an AP. These 3 terms are in an AP. So we'll come back to those two. Q1 2017. This is 2017 data. Q1 2017, 120, 100, 160. 120 plus 160, 280, 380. The total becomes simple enough. Q2 2017, 65 plus 75, 140 plus 60, 200. Here, these two add up to 130. This is 220. This should be 90. And so the missing numbers, we're just filling them up in a hurry, right? Really quickly. And so most of the numbers we have filled in, just go step by step, fill these numbers in. Q4 amounts to 500. 150 plus 170 is 320. This number should be 180. Now let's come to the 2 quarters where we are given arithmetic progressions. The sum of the 3 numbers is 150. 3 terms in AP. You can write them as A minus D, A plus D. If we add these 3, it will be 3A. 3A is equal to 150. A is 50. Or the middle term is 50. This is 40. This is 50. This should be 60. Same idea. 360 is the total. Middle term should be 120. 100, 120, 140. So we have monthly numbers for the first 3 months, next 3 months, next 3 months, next 3 months. Monthly for these 3, these 3, these 3, and these 3. So all monthly numbers are available. So all quarterly numbers are available. All annual numbers are available if we want it. I'm not even going to fill this in and add this and find out. If we need it, we'll find it. Okay. So methodically, we fill the more obvious numbers. We put them in. Then we attack the AP part. And then we move on to the questions. Now we have the entire grid on our hand. So let's jump to each question. What is the percentage increase in sales in December 2017 as compared to the sales in December 2016? December 2017 is 180. December 2016 is 140. And so we want to find the increase from 140 to 180 in percentage terms. So an increase of 40 on a base of 140. 4 by 14 or 2 by 7. 2 by 7 in percentage terms. 1 by 7 is 14.28%. 2 by 7 is 28.57%. We look for that number, the answer choice, this is goes. In which quarter of 2017 was the percentage increase in sales from the same quarter of 2016 the highest? So 2017 to 16, Q1 to Q1 was 140 by 240. This is in Q1. Also 240 to 380, an increase of 140 on a base of 240. Q2 to Q2, 150 to 200, increase of 50 on a base of 150. Q3 to Q3, Q3 is 220 in 2017, it was 250 in 2016. So it's a negative. We're thinking about percentage increase, not percentage change. It's a negative number. We don't even have to worry about it. Q4 to Q4, this is 360 to 500, 140 by 500. Sorry, 140 by 360. Change by initial. From 360 to 150, from 360 to 500, a change of 140 divided by 360. We want to find the highest of these three. 50 by 150 is 1/3. This is definitely more than 1/3. You can forget about this. We're comparing 140 by 240 and 140 by 360. We do not even have to find these fractions, and the numerators are same. This denominator is lower. This is the higher fraction, or the quarter which saw the highest percentage increase is Q1. And 240 to 380 is the sharpest percentage increase that happened in Q1, this choice. During which quarter was the percentage decrease in sales from the previous quarter's sales the highest? Percentage decrease. Q4 of 2017. Q4 of 2017. There's actually an increase. From Q3 to Q4 is an increase. So we don't have to worry about it. Talking about the percentage decrease, the highest is an increase. So we don't have to worry about it. Q1 of 2017. This is Q1. From 360 to 380. 360 to 380 is once again an increase. So again, this one we don't need to worry about. It seems to be a very simple question. Q2 of 2017. Q2 of 2017. It is down by 180 on 380. This is 180 by 380. Or 18 by 38. 9 by 19. Q2 of 2016. Q2 of 2016 here from 240 to 150, decrease of 90 on a basis of 240. 9 by 24 or 3 by 8. We're comparing 9 by 19 and 3 by 8. 9 by 19 is just less than half. 9.5 by 19 is half. 3 by 8 is also less than half. 4 by 8 is half. Just think about this. 9.5 by 19 to 9 by 19 is a very small drop. 4 by 8 to 3 by 8 is a large drop. So this number is closer to half, is larger than this. The textbook way of comparing this, 9 by 19, 3 by 8. The LCM would be 19 into 8. This is 9 into 8. This is 3 into 19. Or we are comparing 72 and 57. 72 is greater than 57. This is greater than this. That's a textbook way of comparing. But you can anchor both of these around half. Both are less than half. This is only slightly less than half. Very close to half. This is more less than half. So this is the right answer. During which month was the percentage increase in sales from the previous month's sales the highest? Percentage increase from the previous month's sales the highest. March of 2016. 2016 March. From 60 to 100. Increase of 40 by 60. Difference by initial into 100. That's percentage increase. October 2016. October 2016 is just 100. From 55 to 100. So this will be 45 by 55. Into 100. We're just comparing. So I'm forgetting about the into 100 part. I'm going to think of them as fractions. October of 2017. So we're looking at 2017 October. 70 to 150. An increase of 80 on a basis of 70. Straight away, I know that this number is greater than 1. That's jumping out at me. From September to October, the sales have more than doubled. Right? So I can forget about these two. I don't have to compute that. So far, 80 by 70 is the highest. It's higher than 1. It's more than 100%. Sales have more than doubled. Fine. March 2017. March 2017. March of 2017 is this number. It is 100 to 160. It's an increase of 60 by 160. 60 by 100. not this number is written down incorrectly. 60 by 100, from 100 to 160. It's an increase of 60 on a base of 100. This is also less than 1. The only number that's greater than 1 is October 2017. That's the right answer. March of 2017 is also an increase. It's an increase of 60 on a base of 100. 60 by 100, just less than 1. In this case, it has more than doubled. In all of these cases, it has not doubled. So October of 2017 has seen the sharpest percentage increase among these 4 months. We don't have to check the others because it is more than 100%. So choice 3. ATM. An ATM dispenses exactly rupees 5,000 per withdrawal using 100 rupee, 100, 200 and 500 rupee notes. The ATM requires every customer to give her preference for one of the 3 denominations of notes. So customer walks in and says 100 rupees is my preference. It then dispenses notes such that the number of notes the customer's preferred denomination exceeds the total number of notes of the other denomination. So if I've given 100 as my preferred thing, then sum of these 2 notes will be less than number of notes of this type. Right? Wonderful. So very clear what we're trying to do. Everybody gets exactly 5,000. There are only 3 denominations, 100, 200, 500. The customer can give one preferred denomination. It could be 100 or 200 or 500. The number of notes of that denomination will be more than sum of the other 2 put together. Right? There's not much beyond this, so we're going to discuss each of these questions based on what the question tells us. It's very vital. So it's not something where we solve a complete grid and write down the answers. We've understood the constraint. We're going to jump in. Those of you who have just seen the question, hit pause on this video. Try this question. Try all the questions. Then think about solving it. Then think about watching the video. This is not a newscast. Right? So you have to try this question before we jump in. Right? There are 4 questions following this. Okay, thing 500 rupee note plus 200 rupee notes plus 100 rupee notes. So 500x plus 200y plus 100z is 5,000. So the 2 zeros go away. 5x plus 2y plus z equals 50. If we say 500 rupee note is the preferred one, then x is greater than y plus z. If 200 is the preferred one, then y is greater than x plus z. If 100 is the preferred one, z is greater than x plus y. This depends on what the preferred note is. Fine. Wonderful. So let's jump to the questions and then see where they take us. In how many different ways can the ATM serve a customer who gives 500 rupee notes as her preference? 500 rupee note is the preference. So the number of 500 rupee notes should be greater than sum of the other 2. And now remember, this question does not say that the customer should get at least 1 note of each type. So every note can be just a preferred note. And everything is, there are 10 500 rupee notes. This is 0, this is 0. That will work. So all 10 could be 500 rupee notes. That's a preferred note. That means the number of 500 rupee notes is greater than sum of 200 plus 100 rupee notes. The total adds up to 5,000. We are good to go. So we know that 10, 0, 0 works. We're going to go step by step from there. Let's then assume we have 9 500 rupee notes. 9 500 rupee notes amount to 4,500. So we have 500 rupees remaining to be split among 200 rupee notes and 100 rupee notes. All of these 500 could be 100 rupee notes, which here this will be 0. Or I could have one of these, which here there will be 3 of these. 200 plus 3 into 100. Or 2 of this, which here there will be 1 of these. The total number of notes will be 5, 4 or 3. All of these are less than 9. So we could have 9, 0, 5, 9, 1, 3, 9, 2, 1. 3 different possibilities with 9 500 rupee notes. Right? Of course, after this, we could have 8 500 rupee notes. So 8 500 rupee notes correspond to 4,000 rupees.
That means we have 1000 rupees remaining between 100 and 200. And so 100 rupee notes and 200 rupee notes amounting to 1000 rupees totally. One extreme is we have 5 of these, 0 of these. The other extreme we have 10 of these, 0 of these. Could have 4 and 2, 3 and 4, 2, 406, 1 and 8. These are the possibilities, different possibilities. So 100 rupee notes and 200 rupee notes amounting to 1000. We could have 10 of these and 0 of these, 8 of these, 1 of these, 6 of this, 2 of this, 4 of this, 3 of this, 2 of these, 4 of these, 0 of these, 5 of this. I'm replacing 200 rupee notes with a 200 rupee note. These are all possibilities when there are 8 500 rupee notes. Fine. So now the total number of notes, this plus this is 10. So this is ruled out. The number of notes outside of the 500 rupee note should be less than 8, not even less or equal to, less than 8. So this is also out. This is also out. It adds up to 9 notes. This adds up to 8 notes. These 3 are possible. So let's fill this in. So I could have with 8, I have 8, 3, 4, 8, 4, 2, 8, 5, 0. I cannot have 8, 2, 6. That's not possible. Fine. So with 10, we have done a set of combinations. With 9, we have done. With 8, we have done. Let's go with 7. 7 different ways. 7 500 rupee notes gives us 3500 rupees. Remaining 1500 need to be dispensed with 100 rupee notes and 200 rupee notes. Fine. One extreme is to have 15 of these notes and 0 of these. Another extreme is to have 7 of these notes and 1 of this. 7 into 200 is 1400 plus 1. Even this extreme amounts to 8 notes. We know we need to have less than 7 notes, not even less or equal to, less than 7 notes. Or with 7 different notes, this is just not possible. 7 500 rupee notes, this is just not possible. That means with 6 or 5 or 4, it's not possible. Or the number of ways is just this. There are 7 different ways in which the ATM can serve a customer. 1 with 10 500 notes, 3 with 9 500 rupee notes, and 3 with 8 500 rupee notes. With 7 500 rupee notes or lower, it is impossible to distribute 5000 rupees with these conditions being satisfied. Let's go to the next one. ATM could serve only 10 customers with a stock of 50 500 rupee notes and a sufficient number of notes of other denominations. What is the maximum number of customers among these 10 who could have given 500 rupee notes of their preference? 500 rupee notes as their preference. So some have given 500 rupee notes as their preference. Now we already know that these are the possible combinations for 500 rupee notes as their preference. That means with 500 rupee notes as preference, I could either satisfy a customer with 10 notes, 9 notes, or 8 notes of the 500 rupee denomination. If this is the preference, then I need to have 10, 9, or 8 500 rupee notes. This is where it gets very interesting and simplified a lot. I want to have the maximum number of customers who could have been served who had put this as the preferred denomination. That means if I want to have many with this as the preferred denomination, the moment I have a preferred denomination, I should be serving the least number with that preferred denomination. So anytime someone puts 500 rupee note as the preferred denomination, I'll give them the combination with 8 500 rupee notes, either 8, 3 and 4, or 8, 4 and 2, or 8, 5 and 0. Something, but with just 8 500 rupee notes. That means anyone who has put 500 rupee note as a preferred denomination gets exactly 8 500 rupee notes. We have 50 500 rupee notes to start with, or we can service 50 by 8. 6 point something, 6 customers. We do not have enough 500 rupee notes for the 7th customer who says the preferred note is 500 rupee note. If your preference is 500 rupee note, we can give them 10, 9 or 8, but we would rather give 8 because we want to go get as many people, satisfy as many people who have put preferred note as 500 as possible. So we would rather give 8. So keep giving 8 every time. That will take us to 48 500 rupee notes being given away, servicing 6 customers. More than that, with only 50 500 rupee notes is not possible. So maximum number of customers is 6. What are the maximum number of customers that the ATM can serve with a stock of 50 500 rupee notes and a sufficient number of notes of other denominations if all the customers are to be served with at most 20 notes per withdrawal? 50 500 rupee notes, sufficient number of notes of other denominations. We start with at most 20 notes per. So we have 50. So our 500 rupee note is our constraint. The others, there are sufficiently. You can imagine there are 1,100 rupee notes and 2,200 rupee notes available with us. And the 500 rupee notes is the one we're going to run short of. So we have only 50 of those. So now we have got to say at most 20 notes per withdrawal and with as few 500 rupee notes as possible. If we achieve that, then we are brilliant. We are home and dry. When at most 20 notes and as few 500 rupee notes as possible, then we serve each customer with the minimum possible number of 500 rupee notes. That means we can stretch out our 50 500 rupee notes as much as possible. So let's say, obviously we cannot do it with 0 500 rupee notes because with 20 notes, if all 20 were 200 rupee notes, that will still amount only for 4,000 rupees. So let's say we have one 500 rupee note. That means this X plus this Y. They together amount for 4,500 rupees. The best case scenario to do it with the least number of notes would be to have lots of these. So make 22 of these and one of these. 22 of these goes to 4,400. One of these gives us another 100. But this means we have 1 plus 22 plus 1, 24 notes. That's not possible. With just one 500 rupee note, it is impossible to satisfy this criteria and give 5,000 rupees. Let's say there are 2. So these two 500 rupee notes amount to 1,000. So we need to generate for the remaining 4,000 with 200 rupee notes and 100 rupee notes. If you have as few notes as possible, then we should have everything as 200, 200 into 20. So two 500 rupee notes, 200 into 20, 0 100 rupee notes. That is a possibility. That is the best case scenario. But even here, 20 into 200 plus 2 into 500, there are 22 notes available here. We can have at most 20. This is also ruled out. Now let's go with 3. 3 500 rupee notes amount to 1,500 rupees. So we need to have 3,500 rupees remaining, satisfied with 200 rupee notes and 100 rupee notes. We'll have 17 of these and one of these. 17 into 200 is 3,400 plus 1, 3,500. 17 plus 1 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. Once again, funnily enough, this doesn't work greater than 20. So with 3 also we cannot satisfy. So let's see if we can do it with 4. So 4 500 rupee notes gives us 2,000 rupees. We have 3,000 rupees remaining. That can be filled with 15 200 rupee notes. 15 plus 4 is 19. We have a winner. So using 4 500 rupee notes, we can satisfy this condition of being able to distribute 5,000 rupees with at most 20 notes per withdrawal. With 19 notes, we can do this. 4 into 500 plus 15 into 200 is 5,000. So with 4, we can satisfy this. We have a stock of 50 500 rupee notes. So 50 by 4 is 12 point something. So for up to 12 customers, we can satisfy this. Anytime a customer comes, give them 4 500 rupee notes and 15 200 rupee notes. Keep on doing this. This is the best case scenario to stretch out our 500 rupee notes. We can serve up to 12 customers using this strategy. We do not have enough 500 rupee notes for the 13th customer. What are the number of 500 rupee notes required to serve 50 customers with 500 rupee notes as their preference? And another 50 customers with 100 rupee notes as their preference. The total number of notes to be dispensed is the smallest possible. Total number of notes is the smallest. It's dispensing 5,000 rupees. The number of notes should be the smallest. What is the inference here? Total number of notes
is the smallest possible. That means we need to have as many 500 rupee notes as possible, as few 100 rupee notes as possible. The more notes of the higher denomination, the fewer notes we will require. We want to serve 50 customers with 500 rupee notes as their preference. The guys with 500 rupee notes as their preference, satisfy them with only 500 rupee notes. So give them 10 500 rupee notes, they will be happy, their condition is satisfied, 5,000 rupees are delivered, and you're doing it in as few notes as possible. So these 50 customers will be serviced as 10, 0, 0. Now there are 50 customers who have to be served with 100 rupee notes as their preference. For them, we cannot deliver like this. We could have 100 rupee notes amounting to, we need to get to 5,000 rupees, 50 100 rupee notes, 0, 0. But that means there are 50 notes. That's useless. We need to replace this with 500 rupee notes in order to have as few notes as possible. Right? So let's say we replace 10 of them. So we can have 2 500 rupee notes, 0 200 rupee notes, and 40 100 rupee notes. 1000 plus 4000 is 5000. This is a possibility. The number of notes is lesser. Right? But we still have 42 notes. This is only 2. This is 40. We can replace more. Every time we cut 5 here, we can add 1 here. So we can have 3 and 35. We can have 4 and 30. We can keep doing that till we get the best point. So 4, 30 works. 5, 25 works. 6, 20 works. 7, 15 works. 8, 10 works. 9, 5 does not work. 8, 10 will work. Or we could have a scenario where we give them 8 500 rupee notes and 10 100 rupee notes. The number of 100 rupee notes is greater than this plus this. That condition is satisfied. Total amount given is 5,000. This is the best case scenario because we have as few notes as possible. And so with 18 notes, we can do this. With 10 notes, we can do this. So we want to find how many rupees 500 rupee notes are required to serve. 500 rupee notes here are 10 rupee notes per person into 50, 500. Here again 50 people, 8 500 rupee notes per person, 8 into 50 is 400. 500 plus 400 equal to 900 customers can be satisfied keeping the above conditions in mind. Choice 4. Petrol pumps. Fuel contamination levels at each of 20 petrol pumps, P1 to P20, were recorded as either high or medium or low. And once again, before you proceed further with this, please try this extensively. I'm going to read this. You need to have time to consolidate all the moving parts in your own mind before you can take value from the solution. Contamination levels at 3 pumps from P1 to P5 were recorded as high. P1 to P5, 3 were high. P6 was the only pump among P1 to P10 where the contamination level was low. So P6 is low, only low in the first 10. P7 and P8 were the only 2 consecutively numbered pumps where the same levels of contamination were recorded. So P7, P8 are equal. The only place they are equal. Remember, P7 and P8 are not L. So P7, P8 are either MM or HH. It's a brilliant hint. It's a very powerful thing. Nowhere else can we have an LL or an MM or a HH except P7 and P8. Now straight away, just gives away this part. P1 to P5 has 3 high levels. No 2 high levels should be adjacent to each other. Or straight away, P1 to P5 is H dash H dash H. And in between should be M because there is only one L from P1 to P10, which is in P6. So the first 6 pumps have to be HM, HM, HL. Straight away we know this much. And the big giveaway. High contamination levels were not recorded at any of the pumps from P16 to P20. The last 5. No high at all.
That means it should be only L and M and nothing adjacent to each other. So P16 to P20 is either LM, LML or ML, MLM. The number of pumps where high contamination levels were recorded was twice the number where low contamination levels were recorded. So H, M, L. If this were X, this is 2X. Together, H plus L is 3X. The multiple of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 or 18. That means medium will be 17 or 14 or 11 or 8 or 5 or 2. Brilliant. So we narrowed down the number for medium. We definitely know that there are 3 H's and therefore at least 3 H's mean even number of heights. So we can rule out this, we can rule out this, we can rule out this. We'll narrow down even further, but we can already see that M cannot be 2 or 17. It cannot be that low or that high. Right? So we built some base, some inferences. Let's dig deeper now. A bunch of questions to follow. We'll come to that. Right? So let's go step by step. This is L that we know. That could be HH or MM that we know. This has to be H, M, H, M, H, H, M, H, M, H. So H and H, this has to be M. H, this has to be H, this has to be M. Two possibilities for P1 to P10 because P7, P8 could be HH or MM. Maybe one of these two will get eliminated, but we have two possibilities. Fine. So the first 5 we have nailed on. First 6 we have nailed on. They're certainties. Fine. Now we are going to make inferences about the total number of M's. So let's count that. And in this sequence, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 high contaminations, only 1 low, and 3 M. M would be 1, 2, 3. Here again, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 M and 1 L. Wonderful. So far so good. We've completed this. This could be either 6, 3, 1 or 4, 5, 1. I know these two, last two, we know there's no H here, so it could be LM, LML or ML, MLM. So we could have either 2 mediums and 3 lows or 3 mediums and 2 lows, 2 low levels. And wonderful. We already know that M should be from the set of 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17. We already have 3 mediums. We'll definitely have at least 2 here. It adds up to 5 minimum. So 2 and 5 we can rule out because there'll have to be M here for sure. Fine. So we are the number of H should be an even number totally, and it should be twice that of this. Then there are at least 6 heights here plus 4 highs here. 6 and 4, there will definitely be highs here. So we can straight away eliminate this and this. And so medium level should either be 8 or 11. None of the other possibilities are even feasible. If this is 8, the remaining 2 add up to 12. So the total is either 8, 8, 4 or 6, 11, 3. And 8, 8, 4 or 6, 11, 3. These are the 2 possibilities that we have with us. For high, medium, low. Even the 10, 5, 5, it can be ruled out. Only 5 can be medium. That means 10 high levels have to be there. There are 6 high levels here maximum. We'll have to have 4 highs here with no high level here.
4 highs and 5 slots, not possible. Even this can be ruled out. So it's either 884 or 6113. Fine. So let's think about this. 884 totally or 6113 totally. Let's see if we can narrow down even better. 884 or 6113. So think about it. Suppose it were 6113. There are 11 mediums totally. You can either have 3 mediums from here or 5 mediums from here. If you have 5 mediums in the first 10, to get to 11, it will be 6 M's in the second 10. That's not possible because no 2 consecutive ones could be M. So maximum, even if we go alternate, we can get 5 M's. So 6113 is ruled out. So the total has to be 884. H, M, L. Now, this could be 631 or 451. Think about this. 631 or 451. The total is 884 for high, medium, low. We could have 631, in which case the remaining 10 would be 2, 5, 3. This is P11 to P20. Or if you have 884, 451, be 4, 3, 3. Think about this. P16 to P20, there are no high contamination levels. Or if you have to have 4 high contamination levels in the second 10, all 4 will have to be here. That is simply not possible. So 451 is ruled out. This possibility goes out of the window. So the first 10 has to be 631. The second 10 has to be 253. So here it will be 2, 5 and 3. 2 high levels, 5 mediums and 3 ones and 3 low levels. Wonderful. So let's now go and chase this. The last 5 has to be ML, MLM or LM, LML. There are only M and M here. We need to have 3 more M's. That has to be only like this. We put those in. So MH, MHM, LM, LML. So we'll have 2 highs, 5 mediums and 3 lows. That's the only possibility there. Fine. So here we have already eliminated this. Here LM, LML, that means all 3 L's get accommodated. So in this 5, there should be no L at all. It has to alternate MH, MH, M. So we're done with that. Wonderful. Now we know P10 is H, so P11 should be M. Fine. So now let's think about what other possibility exists. Totally. Fine. So we need to accommodate 2 more H's. If you're going for this sequence, 2 H's here. P11 cannot be a H. So P12 can be H. If P12 is a H, P13 cannot be H. P14 can be, or we could have this, or we could have this. These are the 3 possibilities that we have. Fine. So H and H in 12 and 14, H and H in 12 and 15, H and H in 13 and 15. So P15 were not H, then it has to be L. So we can fill the first column completely. So this cannot be M, this cannot be H, this will be L. This is L, then we accommodate all the L's required. The other 2 will have to be M. We are done. For the others, there's more freedom. There's one L also in between. These 2 cannot be M. One of these 2 has to be M. So we can have M here and then LM or ML here. So those possibilities exist. Those things we can still figure out later on. Fine. But we've got large parts of the grid. For the first 10, there's only one solution. For the next 10, there are about 3-4 possibilities. When we've got this far in the grid, let's jump to the questions. Which of the following must be true? The contamination level at P12 was recorded as H. At P12 was recorded as H. This is H, this is H, this is H. This need not be H. We could have a scenario where this is M and this is L, this is the other M. This need not be true. P20 was recorded as medium. Not necessary, it could be low. This need not be true. P10 was recorded as H. Yes, P1 to P10 we have completely nailed on. That is true. P13 was recorded as low. P13 could be medium or high. Need not be low. This is out. So choice 3, the third option. Go to the next question. What best can be said about the number of pumps at which the contamination levels were recorded as medium? We know the number HML is 884. Medium level is 8 exactly. It cannot be 11, it cannot be 5. We've already seen that, established it clearly. It has to be 8 totally. The best statement is exactly 8. Remember that this more than 4 is also correct. Best can be said. What is narrowing it best is exactly 8. The contamination level at P11 was recorded as low. That means this is out, this is out. This could be low, in which case there will be 2M. This is also out. Only one possibility exists. The contamination at P18 was low. P18 was medium. So the first one is out. The contamination level at P15 was recorded as medium. P15 is high. This is out. Contamination level at P14 was recorded as medium. Yes, that is correct. At P12 was high. This is wrong. So once again, choice 3. If the contamination level at P15 was recorded as medium, P15 was medium, that is this possibility. Only one possibility. Which of the following must be false? Contamination levels at P11 and 16 were recorded as same. 11, 16. This is false. This seems to work. 10 and 14 were recorded at same. 10 is high, 14 is high. This is true. 14 was higher than 15. 14 is higher than 15. Yes. H and then M. This is also true. 13 and 17 were same. 13 is medium. 17 is also medium. This is also true. Which one must be false? That is statement 1. Choice 1. Management electives. Once again, if you have not done this question, hit pause, read the question, get it, try it for a while, and then come back and look at this video. There's no point having a look at the video without having tried this. Right? Let's read this. Adriana, Bandita, Chitra, and Daisy are 4 female students. Amit, Barun, Chetan, and Dev are 4 male students. Each of them studies in one of 3 institutes, X, Y, and Z. Both are ABCD, ABCD. Each student majors in one subject among marketing, finance, operations, and finance, and minors in a different one. And so you cannot major and minor in marketing among these 3 subjects. The following facts are known about the 8 students. So we're going to have 4 male students, 3 female students, 8 students in 3 institutes, each majoring and minoring in different one of these 3 subjects. That's what we're looking to complete the grid about. Right? 3 students are from X, 3 are from Y, remaining 2, both female, are from Z. X, Y, Z. These are 2 females, 3 each. Both the male students from Y minor in finance. So 2 male students from Y, both of them. That means there are 2 and both major and minor in finance. That means the third one is female. So 3 females and 2 males have been accounted for. We should have 2 males and a female in X also. While the female student from Y majors in operations. I'm not able to account for all the information. So I'll draw a table and then dig deeper. Only 1 male student majors in operations, while 3 female students minor in marketing. 3 minor in marketing, that's a lot. So this could be a crucial constraint. One female and two male students major in finance. One female and two male students major in finance. So you've got three female students minoring, one female and two male students majoring in three female students minoring in marketing, and this is in finance. Adriana and Deb are from the same institute. Adriana is a girl, Deb is a boy. That means you're talking about X or Y, not Z. Daisy and Amit are from the same institute. Again, we're talking about X or Y, not Z. We've accounted for A and D among the girls from X and Y. That means Z has girls starting with B and C, Bandita and something else. And I'm going to think of the females as A, B, C, D, males as something else, A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, so that we can make that distinction. Barun is from Y and majors in operation. This is brilliant. I love constraints like these. We can put Barun in Y and then say that he's majoring in operations. Chetan is from X and majors in finance. Brilliant. So we can directly write down what they are majoring in. Daisy minors in operations. Brilliant. This is very useful. Now I'm gonna like this constraint a lot, I think, because we know exactly who is in which college and which one he or she is majoring in. Right? So that's very useful. Let's go step by step. These are the questions from here. We've already done this. X, Y, Z, 2 males and 1 female, 2 males and 1 female, 0 males and 2 females. Right? We've decided to call the females A, B, C, and D. The males, Amit will be AM, Barun will be BR, Chetan will be C10, and Dib will be DB. Fine. Wonderful. 2 males and 1 female in X, 2 males and 1 female in Y, 0 males and 2 females in Z. So far so good. So let's go to this constraint. Barun is from Y and majors in operations. Barun, Y, operations. Chetan is from X and majors in finance. C10, majors in finance. So I'm going to write major / minor. For each of the students, we've got the name, college name, and major for 2 of the guys. This we put in directly. And we know that B and C are here. Wonderful. Both the male students from Y minor in finance, while the female student from Y majors in operations. So this is male. One more male minors in finance. The female majors in operations. Remember, we already know Daisy minors in operations and Daisy is not in Z. So Daisy cannot be in Y as well, or Daisy has to be in X and she has to minor in ops. This female cannot be Daisy because Daisy cannot major and minor in the same subject. That we know. We know this is B and C. So Daisy has to be here and minoring in ops. So Daisy here, minoring in ops. This automatically tells us that Amit should also be here. Amit and Daisy are from the same. That means we can fill this as well. So we have Amit and Daisy in the same institute. Barun here, Chetan here, Deb should be here along with Adriana. And because those 2 are from the same institute, we already know that as well. Daisy has minored in operations. These 2 have minored in finance. Chetan has majored in finance. Right. Brilliant. So Deb and Adriana should be the other pair that we already knew from the same institute. That is not from X, it should be from Y. Now the next thing we can fill is 3 females, 3 girls minored in marketing. Daisy minors in ops. So Adriana, Bandita, and whatever the C stands for, they've all minored in marketing. And so we filled in a bunch of things. We know the colleges for each student. For each college, we know the students. We filled in major and minor for a bunch of things. Let's see if you have missed out something else. Minors for A, B, and C are all marketing. Only one student majors in operations. Only one male student operations in majors in operations, that is Barun. And while 3 female students minor in marketing, that we have already put in. Okay. Let's build this. 1 female and 2 male students major in finance. 1 female and 2 male students major in finance. AM should major in finance because DB cannot major in finance because he's minoring in finance. So C10 and AM major in finance. And only 1 male student majors in operations, 2 male students major in fin. So the last male student should have majored in marketing. So DB should have majored in marketing. 2 in finance, 1 in ops, remaining is marketing. We can put this in. And so we've got a grid. We don't know this detail too well. We don't know what Daisy majored in. We don't know what B and C majored in. One of them should have been finance, that much we know, but we've not got detail more than that. Right? But let's move to the question. We've got this far. The remaining details, maybe some information from the question will fill those in for us. Who are the students from Institute Z? B and C, Bandita and Chitra. This is an easy question. Straight away, choice 3. Which subject does Deb minor in? Deb is this, minors in finance. You can see that, choice 3. Which subject that Amit major in? Amit majors in finance, choice 3. Done. The first 3 questions have been very easy. We've not even had to worry about filling something in. If Chitra majors in finance, which subject that Bandita major in? Bandita should have majored in either ops or finance because she has minored in marketing. Now only 1 female student majors in finance, so that is out. So Bandita should have majored in ops, choice 2. Once we have filled out this grid, then this set of 4 questions become very simple. And so 2 males and a female, 2 males and a female, 0 and 2. That was the easy part. Then we put in Barun and C10 because we have been given more information about these 2. Then we know a boy and a girl together. That means the girls who are not together along with some one boy that we know should be in Z. That we put in. Then Daisy has minored in finance. Sorry, minored in operations. Daisy goes here. Once we put Daisy here, the other 2 come here, these 2 come here, and then we are through. And simple enough set. This is something that should have definitely tried in the exam. Committees. 24 people are part of 3 committees which are to look at research, teaching and administration. Fine. Even before we go on, I'm going to tell you that if you have not tried this question, look at this, look at the detail, solve the question, find the answer, try it out before you see the video. No 2 committees have any member in common. This is very useful. This means we are not looking at a set theory type framework. No 2 committees are of the same size. This also helps. Each committee has 3 types of people: bureaucrats, educationalists, and politicians. I didn't even know educationalist was a word. With at least 1 from each of the 3 types in each committee. Wonderful. So no committee is empty. Committees have 3 committees for research, teaching, and administration. Each committee should have at least 1 bureaucrat, at least 1 educationalist, at least 1 politician. So each committee should have at least 3 people. 24 to start with, and no intersections like this. The following facts are also known about the committees. The number of bureaucrats in research and teaching committees are equal. So bureaucrats, research equal to teaching. Well, the number of bureaucrats in the research committee is 75% of the number of bureaucrats in the administration. So this is 0.75 of admin.
the number of educationalists in the teaching committee is less than the number of educationalists in the research committee. And the number of educationalists in the research committee is the average of the number of educationalists in the other two committees. So something about educationalists, something about bureaucrats, something about politicians. 60% of the politicians are in the administration committee, 20% are in the teaching committee. The remaining 20% should be in research. And so how the data is laid out is very important. I think we're going to think about research, teaching, administration, bureaucrats, educationalists, politicians, and look to fill in numbers in each of these categories in some form. These three together will give research, these three teaching, admin, and everything put together will add up to 24. Once we know how the data is laid out, these kind of things are much simpler to solve. Right? There are 4 questions at the end. So this is how the data is going to be laid out. Bureaucrats, educationalists, politicians, research, teaching, admin. At least one in each. Each committee has 3 types of people with at least one in each. So one is a minimum. Right? The number of bureaucrats in research and teaching committees are equal. If you take bureaucrats, R equal to T, and R is 0.75 of B. Whatever B is, research is 3/4 of that, or bureaucrat to research should be in the ratio 4:3. Teaching is equal to this. Teaching should also be 3. Research to teaching to admin, 0.75 of administrative committee, not bureaucrats. Administrating to research is 4:3, or research to teaching to admin is 3:3:4. This number is 3/4 of this number. Why are we taking like this? When we're talking about number of people, it has to be whole numbers. So we don't want to think in terms of 0.75, 0.751. Better to think in terms of 3/3/4. 3/3/4. 3x, 3x, 4x, total amounting to 10x. 60% of the politicians are in the administration committee, as you can imagine. They don't have much business with research and training. Right? So 60% of politicians are here. So if we take the politician group, 60% are here, 20% are in teaching, and 20% will be in research, because there's no overlap. So this should be in the ratio 2:6, or 1:1:3, or we put it as y, adding up to 5y. So the number of educationalists in the teaching committee is less than number of educationalists in the research committee. This is all right. The number of educationalists in the research committee is the average of number of educationalists in the other 2 committees. We take this as A, this as B, this is A plus B by 2. This is a big giveaway. We also know that number of educationalists in the teaching committee is less than that in the research committee. So A is less than A plus B by 2, which should be less than B. This is the average of A and B. If A is less than this, B should be more than that. Right? More than that, these 3, this is the average of these 3. The middle term is the average of this and this, or these 3 terms are in AP, or the total is 3 times the middle term. And so this is the average of these 2, or A plus B by 2, B will be in AP, or the number totally will be a multiple of 3. 3 times A plus B by 2 if we add all this. Okay? Which is very interesting, because this has to be a multiple of 3. Now, I'm not interested in these numbers. I'm very interested in these numbers. But the total is 24. We have a multiple of 10, a multiple of 3, a multiple of 5. The multiple of 10 can only be 10 or 20. Because we cannot have 30 from bureaucrats alone, because only 24 people are there totally. Educationalist has to be 3, 6, 9, 12, one of these. Politicians has to be 5, 10, 15, one of these. Now think about this. Even if this were 5, this 20 is ruled out.
So this has to be 10. So the number of bureaucrats has to be 10. This has to be 3, this has to be 3, this has to be 4, this has to be 10. This could be 5 or 10, it cannot be 15. If it were 5, 10 plus 5 is 15, there will be 9 remaining. 10 plus 10 is 20, there will be 4 remaining. We cannot have 4 remaining because this has to be a multiple of 3, or we've completely solved the entire grid in terms of the totals. This total is 10, this total should be 5, this total should be 9. Now we know this is the average of the 3. If this is 9, this should be 3. A is less than this, so A could be 2 or A could be 1. B is more than this, B could be 4 or B could be 5. If you fill the entire grid, this is 3, 3, 4, 1, 1, 3. This has to be 3. These two could be 2 and 4 or 1 and 5. They add up to 6, but it could be 2 and 4 or 1 and 5. We don't have more clarity here, but everything else we have filled in completely. And so very interesting question, very simple question once we know that the data has to be laid out like this. The big temptation here is to draw Venn diagram. That one sentence which says there is no overlap tells us that we shouldn't go for this, we should go for this. Okay. Now let's move to the questions. Based on the information given, which of the following statements must be false? In the administration committee, the number of bureaucrats is equal to number of educationalists. Admin committee, bureaucrats equal to educationalists. This is 4, this could be 4. So this is possible, or it is possibly true. So we cannot say must be false. The size of the research committee is less than the size of the training committee. This is 7. This should be 6 or 5 depending on this number. Size of the research committee is less than the size of the teaching committee. That is definitely false. It could be 6 or 5. Either way it is more. This is a choice we're looking for. The size of the research committee is less than the size of the administration committee. 7, that is 11 or 12. This is true. In the teaching committee, the number of educationalists is equal to the number of politicians. Teaching committee, educationalists equal to number of politicians. Possibly true. Number of educationalists could be 1. In this case, 1 and 1. Definitely false is this one. Choice 2. What is the number of bureaucrats in the administration committee? Bureaucrats in admin, 4. Done. Very simple. What is the number of educationalists in the research committee? Educationalists, research, 3. Done. Which of the following cannot be determined uniquely based on the given information? The total number of educationalists in the 3 committees. Total number of educationalists is 9. This can be found. The total number of bureaucrats in the 3 committees. This is 10. Again, can be found. The size of the teaching committee. This could be 6 or 5. This cannot be found. Size of the research committee. This is 7. This can be found. Which of the following cannot be found? That is size of the teaching committee. It could be 6 or it could be 5. College accreditation. Fine. I'm going to assume you've read this question. It's a very nice, very doable question. So if you have not tried this question before, take some time out, try it before jumping into the solution. Right. An agency interested to accredit colleges looks at 4 parameters: faculty quality, reputation, placement quality, and infrastructure. Right. So F, R, P, I. The 4 parameters are used to arrive at an overall score, which the agency uses to give an accreditation to the colleges. In each parameter, there are 5 possible letter grades given, each carrying certain points. So we have A, B, C, D, and then F. 50 points for A, 40 for B, 30 for C, 20 for D, no E, F is 0. F counts for nothing. The overall score for a college is the weighted sum of the points scored in the 4 parameters. So we give some weightages to F, R, P and I. And then we multiply by the ratings individually and get an overall score. The weightages are 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 in some order, but order is not disclosed. So F could be 0.1, 2, 3 or 4, 0.1, 2, 3 or 4 and so on. Accreditation is awarded based on the following scheme. Overall score. So accreditation is based on overall score. Wonderful. So it's greater than or equal to 45, we get a AAA, then BAA, BBA, triple B, chunk. And this is overall score. On the basis of overall score, this accreditation is provided. Wonderful. So the context has been given. Let's jump in. 8 colleges apply for accreditation and receive the following grades in the 4 parameters: F, R, P and I. And A1 gets AAA, best ed gets BC, DD, BD, DC and so on. We cannot try to make too much sense of this, so let's read the further constraints. It is further known that in terms of overall success, high Q is better than best ed. High Q better than best ed. Best ed is better than cosmopolitan. This is better than this. Education aid is better than A1. This is better than this. Wonderful. So let's go. That's it. Nothing more is given. So let's go step by step. High Q is better than best ed. High Q and best ed. CDDB, BCDD. This is B and C, C and D, D and D, DB. So these two are same. There are 3 that are different. So let's compare the others and see if there is something where maybe only 1 is different or 2 are different. If only 1 is different, then there's no comment to be made. And we know what is better straight away. So if all 4 are different, then that's nothing we can infer from. But if only 2 are different, that can really help us. And best ed is better than cosmopolitan. 2. BB, these 2 are same. DD, these 2 are same. CD, DC. But best ed is better than cosmopolitan. What that gives us is brilliant. This statement tells that the weightage of R is greater than the weightage for I. F and P are identical. Best ed has done better in R, which I think is reputation, whereas cosmopolitan has done better in I, which is infrastructure. They've done better by the same difference, C to D, D to C. This were DB or this were BD or AD, then again we might not have been able to make the inference. So this is C to D, D to C. And so we know now, therefore, that R has more weightage than I. Brilliant. Now let's go to the last one. Education aid is better than A1. Education aid and A1. Both have got A and F. Both have got A and R. Between P and I, education aid has got B in P and A in I. And it is better than A1. So the one in which education aid has done better should have the better weightage. Or I is greater than P. R is greater than I is greater than P. Because R is greater than I is greater than P. So these two have given us a lot. And so I'm going to look at this. These are the questions. So we're first comparing best ed and cosmopolitan, which gives us R is greater than I. Then we compare education aid and A1, which gives us I is greater than P. Therefore, we now know R greater than I greater than P. And so therefore, this could be 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.3, 0.1, 0.2, 0.1, or R could be 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. R cannot be less than 0.3 because it's greater than I and P. So R has to be either 0.4 or 0.3. There are only 4 combinations for weightages of R, I and P. For each of those 4, F will get the remaining one automatically. So only 4 combinations possible overall. Fine. Now let's look at the first one. High Q is better than best ed. So between high Q and best ed, P is common. High Q is better than best ed. In F, high Q is worse. In R, high Q is worse. In I, high Q is better. Better by 2 slots. And so this tells us what high Q gets in I. High Q in I, this overshadows high Q's losses in F and R. Best edge score in 2 grades is more than offset by high Q's better score in 1 parameter. So in F and R, high Q loses out, but in I, it gets better. It gets better by 2 steps, no doubt. But even so, just outperforming in 1 parameter gives high Q an overall advantage. And so this is very interesting. So between B and C, B is better. Between C and D, C is better. So best ed outperforms in 2 metrics, but is still not good enough. Right? Now, we also know, if you're comparing these two, F, R and I, R is more important than I. Best ed not only outperforms in R has got a bigger weightage than I. So if you imagine this I as 2 plus 1s, the minus 1 in R is more impactful than the plus 1 in I. So the plus 1 in I should be more impactful than the minus 1 in F, and more impactful by a distance for it to overshadow R. Or we can say I has to be greater than F, and by more than how much R is greater than I. So R greater than I greater than P, I is greater than F. This much we know. Brilliant. So R has to be greater than I, P and F. Let's get very specific. R, P and I could be 0.4, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.1, 0.3, 0.4, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.1, 0.2. This much we know. Fine. This is between R, P and I. Fine. We know that if R were 0.4 and I were 0.2, fine, so then what R gets and what I can offset, it doesn't work. I can offset only 0.2 and R gets 0.4. So this doesn't work. If R is 0.3 and I is 0.2, then F has to be 0.4. Then this negative is too high. This doesn't work. R will get us a positive. I will get us an offset. The impact of R will be for best ed. Impact on I will be for high Q. Even though it is plus 2 times, this is 0.4, that is 0.2. This will offset this. And then we still have an F remaining. And so this doesn't work, this doesn't work. And so it is one of these two, where R has to be 0.4 and I has to be 0.3. P could be 0.2 or 0.1. Even here, if F were 0.1 or 0.2, if you think about this sequence where F is 0.2, R is 0.4, F and R add up to 0.6, I and I add up to 0.6. So the impact of best at doing better in 2 grades will be equal to the impact high Q has by doing better in 1 grade, in 1 parameter, I. So even this won't work, or the only thing that works is this. F gets 0.1, R gets 0.4, P gets 0.2, I gets 0.3. R plus F is 0.5. 2 times I is 0.6. This is less than that. This is 2 times because from B to D, there are 2 grades dropping. Remember, the difference in points is only 10 between B and C and D. And we're not talking about F, where there's a jump. And so how much high Q does better in I offsets clearly how much best ed does better in F and R, or these have to be the weightages. Once you've got the weightages, answering the question should be far simpler. And so the weightages are 0.1, 0.4, 0.2, and 0.3. Now let's go for the questions. What is the weight of faculty quality parameter? 0.1 is what we're looking for. Very straightforward. You've already found this out. We're just marking down the answer. How many colleges receive the accreditation of AAA? AAA means an accreditation of greater than 45. Fine. A1 has AAAB. B is at 0.3. These three add up to 0.7. The overall average will be more than 45. It will be 47. So this works. Best set is BC, DD. There is no 50, not possible. BD, DC, no 50, not possible. Without a set of A's, AAA is not possible. And even with one A, AAA may not be possible. Dominance, not possible. Education aid, AA, BA. B is 0.2, AAA, this works. AA, BB, these two add up to 0.5 weightage. These two add up to 0.5 weightage. Between 50 and 40, equal weightage. It will be equal to 45. That works. Global has an F, no A's, no A's. So there are 3 colleges that receive accreditation of AAA. This score will be 47. This will be 48. This will be 45. I'm doing the weighted average by splitting the difference. What is the highest overall score among the 8 colleges? This has to be among the AAA. This is AAA, weightage of 0.7 with B of 0.3. This is AAA, weightage of 0.8 versus B of 0.2. So 50 into 0.8 plus 40 into 0.2. This is 40 plus 8, 48. How many colleges have scores between 31 and 40, both inclusive? Fine. These 3 are out. This is 47, 48, 45. And between 31 and 40, both inclusive. A corresponds to 50, B is 40, C is 30, D is 20, F is 0. So between B and C. And so BC, DD. And there are 2 Ds measuring up to half. We are looking to find something between B and C. DD, BC. And so this 0.5 into 10 into 20, that will give us 10. 0.4 into 30, that will give us 12. 0.1 into 40, that will give us 4. 22, 26, this is not possible. Fine. BD, DC, 0.6 into D, 0.3 into C, only 0.1, this doesn't work. Dominance, DD, BC, half for a D. And so if we average a D and a B, we would get a C. And then we have a C and a D, which will be less than C. The weightage of D is higher than this. The overall will be less than C. This is out. Global CFDD. We want our average to be at least C. FDD are all lesser. This doesn't work. IQ. CDDB. D has 0.6. D and B will average to give us a C, but D's weightage is higher. There is a C. This will be less than C. This is ruled out. Everything is ruled out. The number of colleges scores between 31 and 40, both inclusive, is 0. Smartphones. There are only 4 brands of entry-level smartphones called Azra, Bici, CXQI, and DIPQ. A, B, C, and D effectively in a country. Details about their market share, unit selling price, profitability for the year 2016 are given in the table below. 40, 25, 15, 20. Because unit selling price is given, and assume market share refers to share in number of units, not share in revenue. That will be described as revenue share. Market share can also denote revenue if you're talking only in terms of overall revenues, but here we are clearly talking in terms of units. In 2017, sales volume of entry-level smartphones grew by 40%. So all 4 put together, they are the only smartphone brands. Right, so put together, their volumes grew by 40%. CXQI offered a discount of 40%. So this 30,000 becomes 18,000, which resulted in a 15% increase in market share. Each of the other 3 brands lost 5% market share. So this 15 becomes 30, this becomes 20, this becomes 35, this becomes 15. The unit selling price of the other 3 brands and the profitability values remain the same. The profitability of CXQI came down to half of its value. This becomes 20, These remain the same, these remain the same, these remain the same. And so CXQI has slashed its price, dropped its profitability, and increased its market share. Right? Wonderful. Now let's look at what has been the impact on 2017, and then we'll look at the questions as well. Right? The questions are very clear. They're dependent on revenue and profit and highest profit. So we need to fill that grid and then reimagine this. Fine. I'm going to solve the stem. Fine. What are we going to do? We're going to say overall numbers X in 2016. Overall numbers will be 1.4X. So it's 40, 25, 15, 20. 15 should become 30. These three are down, 5, 5, 5. These two are same. These two are same. These two are same. 30,000 becomes 18. 40% profitability becomes 20% profitability. Wonderful. Now we know that market share numbers are based on overall number of units. And so this is 40% of X. There will be 35% of 1.4X. Remember that. So it's better if we can imagine actual numbers. This is X. This is 40% of X. 0.4X, 0.25X, 0.15X, 0.2X. This will be 0.35 times 1.4X, 0.2 times 1.4X, 0.3 times 1.4X, 0.15 times 1.4X. Revenues would be 0.4X into 15K. I'm writing 15,000 as 15K. Be 0.25X into 20K, 0.15X into 30K, 0.2X into 25K. Fine. We can find these numbers, we can find these numbers and complete everything and just solve the answer. But I'm going to go step by step, question by question. Maybe we'll need to fill all the numbers, maybe we won't need to. Fine, let's go to step by step and look at the questions. The brand that had the highest revenue in 2016, 0.4 into 15K, this is 66K, 0.25 into 20, 5XK, 0.15 into 30, 4.5XK, 25 into 0.2, 25 into 2 is 10, this is 5XK. The brand that had the highest revenue in 2016 is A, Azra. We've got this. This is very useful. The brand that had the highest profit in 2016. So this is 6, 5, 4.5 and 5. 6, 5, 4.5 and 5. I'm just copying down the same number. Profit would be 0.6 XK, 1.5 XK, 4.5 into 4, 40%, 1.8 XK, 5 into 30%, 1.5 XK. Highest profit in 2016 is C, CXQI, this number. 40% profitability is a sizable number. That's a lot. So it helps to track that. Now we pretty much fill this and this. We've answered 2 questions, but in that process, we filled out 2 columns for 2016. Highest profit in 2017. So we're going to find this, then this, then this. Fine. So this is 0.35 into 1.4 into 15K into 10%. Fine. So it's a fairly involved calculation to find this. But let's see if we can see if something is which is higher. Fine. So we're doing 35 into 1.4 into 15 into 10%. And so here the profitability is 3 times. This is higher priced. This is only less than half. This is still more than half. So it is not A. 20% of 1.4 into 20K into 30% will be higher than A. So I don't need to find the number. And so 20%, 20 to 30, 30% to 20%. These two will offset each other. The USP, the unit selling price is higher. So B is greater than C. D, 30%, 30% profitability. This is same. 20K, 25K, 20% share, 15% share. 20 to 25K is higher, but 15 to 20K is higher by a greater percentage. So this will be off. This will work. So the highest profit in 2017 is BYSI. The beauty here is we don't have to compute the numbers. We can compare and then make sense of it. If you think the closest comparison between B and D, 20 into 20 is 400, 15 into 25 is 375. Both are at 30%, so this will be higher. And we can calculate each number, especially because we are given a calculator. Might as well go ahead and find all the numbers. But if that, you can do this question without computing the individual numbers. The complete list of brands whose profits went up in 2017 from 2016 is, now we have to find the actual profits here, 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 and actual profits here, 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 and then compare. And that's going to be time consuming. I'm going to see if we are going to do that. I'm just going to see if there is a shorter way, juicier way. And so think about this. Here the market share of C doubles. Right? This USP falls, profitability halves. And so here the numbers, this is the price is same, profitability is same. This is boosted by 40%. 0.35 times 40, the number is going to be greater than 0.4. 20 times 1.4 is 0.28, this is greater. 15 times 1.4 is 0.21, this is also greater. A, B, and D end up doing higher numbers in terms of actual numbers, not market share, than they did in the previous year. Their USP and their profitability percentage remain the same. So A, B, D, all three are going to have higher profits in 2017 than 2016. This works. Everything has only three choices. C, X, Q, I. Simply there, let us drop the price, increase market share strategy. Does not work. Let's verify that. 1.4 times 32 is 0.42. 0.42 into 18 into 20% compared to 0.15 into 30 into 40%. I'm going to compare these two. Right? So 0.15 into 40% is 0.15 into 0.4, which is 0.06 into 30, which is 1.8. 0.42 into 18 into 20%, or 0.42 into 20% is 0.084. 18 into 0.084. 18 4 is 72, 27. 18 each are 144. Plus 7, 151, 115. 5. This is 1.8, that is 1.512. So from 2016 to 17, CXQI falls, whereas the other three increase. This is a complete table. The key thing here, we can answer a bunch of these questions. We can answer all 4 questions without getting to the entire table. So you could have just said, look, I'm going to shut my mind off, fill in everything, and then just answer the 4 questions in a hurry. That's possible, doable, simple numbers. You're given a calculator. Or you can be street smart about it. Just compare numbers based on a feel for the numbers and then get the answers right. Both methods will work fine. Get sufficient practice in comparing without computing. It's sometimes frightfully useful. Products and companies. Once again, if you've not done this question, try it out. It's a wonderful question. I didn't understand it at first. It became one of my favorite questions. Each of the 23 boxes in the picture below represents a product manufactured by one of the following 3 companies: Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. The area of a box is proportional to the revenue from the corresponding product, while its center represents the product popularity and market potential scores of the product. The shadings of some of the boxes have got erased. Wonderful. So the shadings have got erased. We have Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. So this is red is Bravo, blue is Alpha, and black is Charlie. So this could be any of the 3. This could be any of the 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 boxes unmarked, which we don't know which company's product that is. Okay. The companies classified their product into 4 categories based on a combination of scores. product popularity score and market potential score. I'm going to look at the chart again. Product popularity is here 0 to 20. Market potential is here 0 to 20. Fine. If it is both are greater than 10, then it is promising. If product popularity is greater than 10 but market potential is less than or equal to 10, then it is blockbuster. If product popularity is less than or equal to 10 but market potential is greater than 10, it's doubtful. Both are less than or equal to 10, it's no hope. Right, wonderful. These two quadrants are going to be easy, promising and no hope. And 10 is the midpoint. So effectively we are being told that at 10, if you draw a line like this, and at 10, if you draw a line like this, we're breaking this up into 4 quadrants. This is promising. This is no hope. And then we have a blockbuster, where if market potential is lesser but product popularity is high, so this will be blockbuster. And this side will be, I don't know what it is called, that'll be doubtful. But the potential is there for the market, but we don't have a popular enough product. Right? Wonderful. So we're breaking it into 4 quadrants. Now, the following facts are all known. Alpha and Bravo had the same number of products in the blockbuster category. Charlie had more products than Bravo, but fewer products than Alpha in the no hope category. Each company had an equal number of products in the promising category. Charlie did not have any product in the doubtful category, while Alpha had one more than Bravo. Bravo had a higher revenue than Alpha from products in the doubtful category. Charlie had higher revenue from Bravo from products. Bravo and Charlie had the same revenue in the no hope category. Alpha and Charlie had the same total revenue considering all products. And if you notice, these 4 talk about revenue. The first 4 talk about number of products in each category. And so let's do the number of products, simplify that, and then we'll go on to the rest. And so fine, I just outlined this, broken it into 4 quadrants: doubtful, promising, blockbuster, and no hope. 10 is the breaking point, the cutoff point for each of these. This is the category definition. We've done this quadrants part. Alpha and Bravo had the same number of products in the blockbuster category. So Alpha and Bravo. Alpha is blue, Bravo is red. There are already 2 blues. There's 1 red. So we both can be 2, or both can be more than 2. Both cannot be more than 2. We don't have room for 3 of each. We cannot have less than 2. That means there are 2 alphas and 2 bravos in this. They're totally 7. So this is going to break us Alpha 2, Bravo 2, Charlie 3. Charlie had more products than Bravo, but fewer products than Alpha in the no hope category. This is no hope. Alpha has 2, Bravo has 1. If Bravo ends up having 2, Charlie would have to have at least 3. Alpha should have at least 4. That's not possible. So Bravo should have only 1. Alpha should have 3. Charlie should have 2. So Bravo 1, Alpha 3, Charlie 2. In the no hope category. Each company had an equal number of products in the promising category. Wonderful. 1, 1, 1. 1 Alpha, 1 Bravo, 1 Charlie. Charlie did not have any product in the doubtful category, while Alpha had 1 product more than Bravo. So in the doubtful category, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No Charlies. 1 more Alpha than Bravo. So Alpha is 4, Bravo is 3. Wonderful. So we have filled in the numbers in each plot. Now let's go to the revenue part. We've captured the number here very clearly. 3214 for Alpha, 1213 for Bravo. Charlie is 2310. So 6 Charlie products, 10 here, 16, and then 7 here. Wonderful. Let's go on to the next category. Bravo had a higher revenue from Alpha than Alpha from products in the doubtful category. In the doubtful category, Alpha has 4, but Bravo has more revenue. So Bravo should have the big missing square. The other 2 should be Alpha. So this should be Bravo,
I'm not shading it in red because I want to recognize A, B very clearly. This is A, that is B. Charlie had a higher revenue than Bravo from products in the Blockbuster category. Blockbuster, Charlie had higher revenues. Charlie has 3 and Bravo has only 2 products. But if Bravo had this big square, then it would be impossible for Charlie to have more than Bravo. So Charlie has the big square, Bravo gets a small square. Bravo and Charlie had the same revenue from products in the no hope category. In the no hope category, in no hope, Bravo has 1, Charlie had 2. And so this is Bravo's, where we can say the area is roughly 4 squares. Charlie has to have area equal to 4 of these small squares. Each of these is 1, 1. This looks to be 3. So it is this 3 plus 1 of these 2. So the big rectangular blob, which about 3 square units area, that is Charlie, definitely. One of the other 2 is Charlie. Which one we do not know. Maybe that's not important, but one of those 2 is Charlie. The remaining has to be alpha. Right. Wonderful. Alpha and Charlie had the same total revenue considering all products. Now remember, Alpha has 10 products. Charlie has only 6. Right. Alpha has this accounting for 6, this accounting for 4, this accounting for possibly 2, maybe even 3. It looks fat. This is 6, this is 3. And Charlie has one big thing that accounts for 9. Fine. Apart from this, Charlie has this which accounts for 3, this which accounts for 1. There's no Charlie here whatsoever. This which accounts for 2, this which accounts for 6. So Charlie has fewer products. This 6 from Charlie will get offset with this 6. Fine. This 3 plus 1 will get offset by this 4, which is alpha. Fine. So Charlie has 1, 9 outstanding, but we can already sense that if this turned out to be alpha, alpha's revenues would be far higher. When this has 10 products. If this and this got cancelled, this 6 and this 6 got cancelled. After that, Charlie has a bunch of small products. It will be impossible for alpha revenues to be equal to Charlie revenues. Or the big square in promising has to be Charlie. Right? So chances are the big square has to be Charlie. I'm nearly 100% sure it has to be Charlie, because if this were alpha, then these 2 would get cancelled. And then this 6 would get cancelled with this 6. These 2 small ones together would not even account for this. After that, we have 1 2 unit thing for Charlie. And pretty much that's it. And so this cannot offset all the remaining alphas, or this one has to be Charlie. Now let's go and look at the questions. Considering all companies' products, which product category had the highest revenue? Highest revenue. Look, this is not it. One big square, and then a bunch of things. That's not promising. Right? This is no big square. The big square amounts for 9. These amount for 4, 4, 1, 1, 8, 10, 13, 15. This is not it. This was to be one of these 2. Fine. Either doubtful or promising. We need to be specific here. Think about what can get cancelled. This 6 will get cancelled with this 6. This 9 gets knocked off with this 9. Fine. This 4 gets knocked off with this 4. This 6 gets knocked off with this 6. This gets knocked off with this. These 2 knock this off, and then there's still some remaining. This is there, or the biggest revenue is going to be Blockbuster. It does help to find the number of squares and add that up and find the actual value, but you can merely compare and simplify this. That's probably going to be that little bit quicker. And you might find the numbers, or you can skip the numbers part. Which of the following is a correct sequence of number of products for that Bravo had in No Hope, Doubtful, Promising, and Blockbuster? Bravo, No Hope, 1, Doubtful, 3, Promising, 1, Blockbuster, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, choice B. After I've solved the entire grid, you're just looking at the grid and marking down this answer. Which of the following statements is not correct? Alpha's revenues from blockbuster product was same as Charlie's revenue from promising products. Alpha blockbuster. Alpha is blue, blockbuster 3 plus 6, 9 units, 9 squares. Charlie from promising products is 3 by 3, 9. This is indeed correct. So this is true. This is not our choice then. Bravo's revenue from blockbuster products was greater than Alpha's revenue from doubtful products. Bravo blockbuster. Bravo in blockbuster. This is 4 plus 6, 10 square units. Alpha from doubtful. 6 plus 4, 10 plus 2, 12. Bravo's products 10, Alpha's 12. Saying Bravo is greater than Alpha. This is false. This is not correct. Or this is the choice we are looking for. The total revenues from no hope products was less than the total revenue from doubtful products. Doubtful is a bigger part than this, that we can see clearly. This 4 and this 4 get cancelled. And so there is a 6 here. 4 plus 1 will get cancelled with a 6. There is a 2 plus 3, 5. There's a 2 plus 3, 5 here. This alone is 9. So this is definitely true. Bravo and Charlie had the same revenues from no hope products. No hope products. Bravo and Charlie, this is given in the question. Bravo accounts for 4 units. Charlie is this plus one of these. Again 4 units. This is also true. Or the choice we are looking for is choice B. If the smallest box in the grid is equivalent of rupees 1 crore, then basically 1 square is 1 crore. Then what is the total revenue of Bravo in rupees crores? Total revenue of Bravo in rupees crores. I'm going to go quadrant by quadrant. In this quadrant, Bravo has 9. This is 9 plus 6 plus 2, which is 17 crores. This is what Bravo has. So this is the doubtful quadrant, 17. In the no hope quadrant, just one box here, which is 4 crores. Fine. So in this, there is 6 plus 4, 10. Yes. One of the two should be Bravo. It's either 3 or 2. I'm going to add this up and then worry about the remaining later. Unless my choices are too close, I'm not worrying about this. 17 plus 4 is 21 plus 10 is 31. We're looking at 31 plus 2 or 31 plus 3. The choices had 33 and 34. We'll come back to the remaining A and B being equal and then nail this. But we have only 34, or the 34 crore number is the revenue. And so 17 plus 4 plus 10 adds up to 31. Plus 2 or plus 3, basically plus 3. This should be B, this should be A. Currency exchange. And so to begin with, disclaimer, I struggled with this set so much that I was even worried about solving this. But then now I seem to have got a handle on it. It's a good set, high quality set, and very, very tough, not because the numbers are tough or anything, but the definitions are really weird. The base exchange rate of a currency X with respect to currency Y, the number of units of currency Y, which is equivalent in value to 1 unit of X. So this is 1. This is for buying 1 unit of X, how much of Y will we spend? That's what we're thinking about. Currency exchange outlets buy currency at buying exchange rates that are lower than the base exchange rates and sell currency at selling exchange rates that are higher than the base exchange rates. Fine. A currency exchange outlet uses the local currency L to buy and sell these international currencies A, B and C, but does not exchange one international directly with currency directly with. So we cannot exchange A and B. It's A and L, B and L, C and L, thankfully.
The base exchange rates of A, B and C with respect to L are in the ratio 100 is to 120 is to 1. What does that mean? To buy a unit of A, will be spending 100 of L. That is the base rate. Right? This is a ratio. Remember, it's probably 100K or 100P or 100Q or something like that. The buying exchange rates of A, B and C with respect to L are 5% below the corresponding base exchange rates, and the selling exchange rates are 10% above their corresponding exchange rates. And so the base rate were 100, buying rate would be 95, selling rate would be 110. That's what we're getting from here. Base being 120, buying would be 114, 6 units less than this, selling would be 132. This into 1.1, this into 0.95 or 19 by 20. That's what the base, this buying and selling rates mean. So there is a base rate. You buy at one rate and sell at one rate. And so in technical parlance, this is called as your spread that you have, but forget about it. You don't need any idea of the spread. Fine. So I struggled a lot to wind my head around what are you buying and what are you selling, how much of what you're paying. To get a unit of A, you spend 100 units of L or 100K units of L because this is a ratio. Right? And then there are a bunch of constraints. The amount of L used by the outlet to buy C is the amount of L it received by selling C. Fine. So because of C, L does not change. The same amount is being bought. The amounts of L used by the outlet to buy A and B are in the ratio 5:3. The amounts of L the outlet received from the sales of A and B are in the ratio of 5:9. The outlet received 88,000 units of L by selling A during the day. Received 88,000 units. That is the ratio of 5:9. So by selling A, how many units of L they got, we know. By selling B, we can find the number of units of L they get. 5:9. So 88,000 into 9 by 5 is the number of units of L they get by selling B. The outlet started the day with some amount of L, 2,500 units of A, 4,800 units of B, 48,000 units of C. They ended the day with some amount of L, could be different, 3,300 units of A, that is plus 800, 4,800 units of B, 0, and 51,000 units of C plus 3,000. Right? The interesting points for me are that this number is given. With this number, we can find this number. Right? The other interesting point is this one, which says that L for buying and selling C, L used is the same. Right? The big takeaway apart from that is that the number of units of B is unchanged. So the number of units of B bought equal to units of B sold. We'll probably be using this idea. Number of units of L used to buy C is equal to number of units of L got by selling C. That is probably one idea we'll use. So these two being equal is a crucial takeaway for me. Right? Let's look at this. There are 4 questions at the end of it. Let's go step by step. So where the transaction idea is important. If base rate of A with respect to L is 100, if this is the case, then to buy 1 unit of A, we need 95 units of L. And if we sell 1 unit of A, we'll get 110 units of L. To buy, it takes 95. To sell, if we sell, we'll get 110. Right? So now, this is a ratio. So I'm going to call the rates as 100K, 120K and K. To buy 1 unit of A, we need 95K units of L. We'll get 110K units of L. To buy 1 unit of B, we'll get 1114K units of L. And we will get 132K units of L if we sell 1 unit of B. For C, it is 0.95K and 1.1K. We'll need to find K. I'm assuming that's sitting somewhere in this question. Right? So I put this somewhere here because I want to keep an eye on it. Right? So the outlet received 88,000 units of L by selling A during the day, or amount of L received from sales of B. The ratio 5:9. This is 88,000. Find this number. We've already discussed this. 88,000 into 9 by 5. Right? which happens to be 158400. And so you've received this many units of L from sales of B. And we know that units of B bought and sold are equal. And so from this, we can find, we know that this many L were received from sales of B. So we can find the number of units of B that were sold. How do we find that? It is 158400 by 132K. The unit is 132K. And 1584 is definitely a multiple of 11. So we should be able to simplify this, divide this by 11, make this 12K. 1584, 111, and then 48400. This is 1200. This is 1200 by K. 1200 by K units of B were sold. Only that would have given us this many units of L at the end of it. That means 1200 by K units of B are bought. It's a very interesting idea because the number of units of B remain unchanged. And so what price will they be bought as? They'll be bought at this into 114K. Brilliant. The K gets cancelled. We'll have 1200 into 114 units of L being used for this process to buy B. So the 2 zeros at the end, 12 fours are 48, 8, 4, 12 into 1, 12, 12 plus 4, 16, 6, 1, 136800. Fine. So number of units of L used to buy B is 136800. The amounts of L used by the outlet to buy A and B are in the ratio 5:3. This is 3. What is 5? 136800 into 5/3. Brilliant. This many units of A are used. When this many units of L are used to buy A, 136800 into 5/3. Let's divide by 3. This goes 4 times, then 16, 5 times, 18, 6 times, 45600 into 5, or 228000. Brilliant. 228000. This many units of L are used to buy A. How many units of A will be bought? This divided by 95K. For each unit of A, we'll need 95K units of L. 228000 by 95K. That is 2400 by K. 2400 by K. This is a multiple of 19. So you can divide this by 19 and then simplify. 190 plus this is 12000 by 5K, which is 2400 by K. Right? Now we already got 88,000 units of K, that number from here. This divided by 110K is the number of units of A that are sold. And so this is 8800 by 11, which is 800 by K. Now look at this. We are buying 2400 by K and selling 800 by K. This is coming in, this is going out. 2400 by K minus 800 by K, that is 1600 by K. This is the difference, this is the net impact in A. Now A increases by 800 units, or our brilliant number K is 2. And so the difference is that the 1600 by K, there is a total addition in A. The total number added is 800, or K is 2. In other words, the base exchange rate of K with respect to A with respect to L is 200, base rate is 200, base rate is 240, base rate is 2. Or to buy 1 unit of A, we need 190 units of L. If we sell 1 unit of A, we'll get 220. To buy, you need 228. To sell, you need 264. To buy, we need 1.9. To sell, we need 2.2. Right? Now let's use this last point. Same amounts of L are used for buying and selling C. Right? So the exchange rate is 1.9 and 2.2. The number of units were L, L by 1.9 minus L by 2.2 is 3000. This much is L by 1.9. The same number is used by 1.9 by 2.2. This will be the total increase. This is the amount of C coming in, this is the amount of C going out. The difference is 3000 because 3000 units are added. Into L by 1.9 minus L by 2.2 is 3000. Or if you simplify this, L by 1.9 minus L by 2.2, if you take the LCM, 0.3 L by 1.9 into 2.2 is 3000. And so this becomes 10,000. So we're looking at 10,000 into 1.9 into 2.2. 1.9 into 2.2. So 38,38,81,41800. 41,800 units of L were bought, were used for buying C and were got by selling C. And so that is the number. So quick recap. Currency A, the exchange rates are the numbers are 190 and 220. We spent 228,000 units of L to buy 1200 units of A. We received 88,000 units of L by selling 400 units of A. There's a total addition of 800 units of A. We spent 136800, 136,800 units of L to buy 600 units of B. And then we received this many units of L by selling the same 600 units of B. We add 0 units of B. And then this many units of L were transacted both ways for transacting with C. And this process adds just 3000 units of C. And it is a reasonably complicated question. You need to keep a handle on the numbers very clearly. How many units of currency A did the outlet buy on that day? So currency A addition was 800. We buy 1200 and sell 400. Or how much was bought? 1200. How many units of currency C did the outlet sell on that day? And so it's a very interesting question. It can be done in myriad ways. Number of L used is the same. So L by 1.9 minus L by 2.2 is 3000. Right. These two numbers are in the ratio 22:19, opposite of the reciprocals. So 22x minus 19x is 3000. Or 3x is 3000, x is 1000. Or this is 22,000, this is 19,000. The difference being 3000. L by 1.9 is 22,000, L by 2.2 is 19,000. Or how many units of currency C did the outlet sell on that day? How many did they sell? That is, they bought some number of units, they sold some number of units. They bought more than they sold by 3000. They bought 22,000 and sold 19,000. This answer, choice D. What is the base exchange rate of currency B with respect to currency L on that day? 240. 120 into 2. We found out K equal to 2. 120 into 2 is 240. What is the buying exchange rate of currency C? Base rate is 2. Buying rate is 1.9. Selling rate was 2.2. Buying rate is 1.9. That's the answer we are looking for. And wonderful question, tough question. You can do this slightly more intuitively. We've done it heavily arithmetically, step by step, step by step, step by step. But you can do it more intuitively by jumping a few steps. I've gone for the more elaborate method so as to have a very rigorous, exhaustive approach to this one. This is a set from CAT 2018 DILR. So if you have not done this set, hit pause straight away. Try this set. You can see the description all over the place. Try this set before you see the video. Otherwise, it's just a pointless exercise. Job interview. 7 candidates. Akhil, Balram, Chitra, Divya, Irina, Fatima, and Ganeshan. I like this. They've been kind enough to give us A through to G. And sometimes I hate it when they give names like Akhil and Anita and Abraham and all that. Then it becomes a pain. I have to remember 3 names starting with A. Now it is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Candidates were required to reach the venue before 8 a.m. Good company.
Immediately upon arrival, they were sent to one of three interview rooms, 101, 102, and 103. The following venue log shows the arrival times for these candidates. Some of the names have not been recorded in the log and have been marked as question mark. And so the names that have been missed out are these four. And then we have these statements from the candidates. Balram says, I was the third person to enter room 101. I was the last person to enter the room I was allotted to, that is Chitra. Irina, I was the only person in the room I was allotted to. So there's some room that has only one person. Three people, including Akhil, were already in the room that I was allotted to when I entered it. So there's one room that has greater than or equal to 4. So three people are already there when Fatima entered it. If Fatima is not the last person to enter it, there's probably one more person to enter it. So one room has at least 4. One room has 1. It could be 1, 4, 2, 1, 5, 1. The only possible distribution for the 7 people. I was one among the 2 candidates allotted to room number 102. So 2 candidates allotted to 102. This is like this. So 2 people are in room number 102. Balram was the third person to enter 101. So he was definitely in 101. At least 3 people in 101. This is 101. This is 103. And then we're going to use these constraints, see them over clearly, and then see what else we can fill. Right? These are the questions. I'm going to go step by step. Just to revisit, Irina was the only person in the room she was allotted to. Ganeshan was among 2 candidates. We've already made this inference. Candidate numbers are 4, 1, and 2. 2 people, so the 4-member room is 101. I was among the 2 candidates allotted to 102. This is 102. This is 103. To 103, Irina is there. Ganesh is there. And then one more person is there. Here, Akhil and Balram and Fatima are definitely there in 101. Because Balram is in 101. Fatima says Akhil was already in the room among 3 people. So A, B, and F are in 101. Irina is in 103 and Ganesh is among the 2 people in 102. Now let's look at this. We've gone this far. Let's build this out. And so we've got the candidate numbers, and I'm going to look at this condition. I was the last person to enter the room I was allotted to, is what she's saying. We've made these inferences. A, B, and F go to room number 101. C should go to 102. E should go to 103. E should go to 103. That we know. Chitra was the last person to enter. So she did not enter 101 because Fatima enters after Chitra. So Chitra should have entered 102. Ganesh has also entered 102. So now we know all the names. 102 has C and G. 103 has E. 101 has A, B, F, and D. These 4 people. Right? Wonderful. And Fatima obviously is the last person to enter 101 because when she enters, 3 people are already there. So Chitra was the last person to enter 102. Fatima was the last one to enter 101. So this number should be 103 and this being Irina. Fine. So far so good. We've got this completely filled. Right? Now we need to allot B, F is already done, B, G, D into these rooms. B, G, and D. Right? Is there some other clue that we can use to figure this out? Balram says he was the 3rd person to enter room number 101. So let's just recap this. Balram says he was the 3rd person to enter 101. In 101, we have A, B, D, F. F is the 4th. So Balram enters after A and B. Definitely after A, but after D also. So into these 3 time slots, we have B, D, G. In these 3 time slots, we have B, D, G. Not in this order, obviously. B, D, G such that B is after D. So B is not first. B did not come at 7:10. Right? So B could have come at 7:15 or 7:25. D could have been before B here, or it could have been dash DB. We're looking at DBG, DGB, GDB. 3 possibilities for these 3 time slots. DGB, DBG, GDB. Balram could not have come first. D before B. That much we know. So it could be DB, DB, or DB. The remaining slot goes to G. We know that G is in 102 and B and D are in 101. That much we have already resolved. So 101 has A, D, B, G. Sorry, A, D, B, F. F is the last, A is the first or joint first, and then D comes before B. A, D, B, F in this order. 102 has G, C. 103 has E. The only possibilities or only cases that are still open, the timings 7:10, 7:15 and 7:25. We know that Balram didn't come at 7:10, but still there are 3 possibilities. And so we've got this far. We cannot get any further detail than this. Let's go to the questions and then see which of these work for which questions. What best can be said about the room to which Divya was allotted? Divya is D. Divya could not have gone here. It's either 101. So the room she was allotted. So Divya is definitely in 101. Only the timing there is ambiguity over. Room that she was allotted to, this is definitely room number 101. In rooms, there's no ambiguity. In 101, there's A, D, B, F in that order. Even though A and D could have been joint first. There's no ambiguity here. Definitely room number 101. Who else was in room number 102 when Ganeshan entered? G and C are in 102, but Ganeshan is the first to enter. Who else was in room number 102? No one was in. Ganeshan is the first one to enter 102. Then Chitra joins him. When did Irina reach the venue? At last at 7:45, this choice. She's in room number 103 and she's the last to arrive at 7:45 a.m. If Ganeshan entered the venue before Divya, so G before D, and we know that D is before E. So we're looking at G, D, B as the order. When did Balram enter the venue? Balram should have entered in this slot. We're looking at G, D, B. We're looking at this combination. Balram entered at 7:25 a.m. That is this choice. A wonderful set. It's a very, very, very juicy, simple, doable set. If you'd seen this, your eyes should have lit up and said, look, I'm going to knock this off in 8-9 minutes and get 4 points into the four answers into the bag. Very straightforward. Only 3 possibilities. Bunch of things fall in place automatically. And then there is little bit of leeway that the last set, is it DGB, DBG or GDB? Only that part is up. Everything else is in place straight away. So you should have definitely jumped up and grabbed the chance to finish this off. I want to talk about Fun Sports Club. So it's a wonderful question. As ever, if you have not tried this question, if you have not tried solving it, hit pause right now. Try this question, solve it through. Try all variants and then we'll come back and solve this. Fine. We'll come back and watch this. Fun Sports provides training in 3 sports, Gilli Danda, Kho-Kho and Ludo. G, K and L. Currently it has an enrollment of 39 students, each of whom is enrolled in at least one of the 3 sports. Fine. Straight away, by the time you read this, you should be saying set theory, 3 sets, nothing outside. When it looks like that, we might change our opinion, but you should be jumping in and saying, okay, this is the kind of puzzle I'm getting into. And if you're naturally comfortable with set theory puzzles, you should just grab it and nail this. Fine. So you should know that template really well. The following details are known. The number of students enrolled only in L is double the number of students enrolled in all the 3 sports. Wonderful. So this reconfirms set theory. Only in L is double the number enrolled in all 3 sports. So if you say this is G, this is K, this is L, the total is 39. if this were x, this would be 2x. The total of 17 students in G. The number of students enrolled only in G is 1 less than the number of students enrolled only in L. This is 2x. This is 2x minus 1. The number of students enrolled only in K is equal to the number of students who are enrolled in both K and L. Both K and L is this put together. That is nothing but only in K. If this is y, this will be y minus x. The maximum student enrollment is in L. 10 students enrolled in G are also enrolled in at least one more sport. 10 students are enrolled in at least one more sport. At least one more sport is this region. That adds up to 10. And so we made some of these inferences and drawn this and scribbled this. I'm going to do this in a much more structured fashion by drawing the theory. Key thing in a lot of these puzzles, in set theory puzzles especially, is to not increase the number of variables, to have a clear idea of what the best starting point could be. So here we're going to focus completely on in which order should we approach the constraints. I love orders that are the constraints that are very specific, that involve actual numbers or details. Fine. If you're dealing with too much of one is twice the other, 4 more than the other, greater than this, minimum that, least possible, then all of those are constraints with a greater than, less than, and maximum, minimum thrown in. Whereas if you say Ram has scored 14, Shiva leaves at 4 p.m., Kishore stays in the greenhouse, that is specific. To gravitate towards the specific ones. Right? Jump in. One specific constraint in this list is this number of students enrolled is 17. That is obvious. The number of students enrolled only in G is 1 less than the number of students enrolled only in L. So if this were x, this will be x minus 1. And so p minus 1. 10 students enrolled in G are also enrolled in at least one more sport. So that means this number, all these put together, adds up to 10. What does that give us? There are 3 different regions here, but we don't have to worry about those 3. Those 3 add up to 10. What we know is this remaining is 7. This is 7. It should be 8. Fine. So this being 7, this being 8 is a big giveaway. This is 7. This is 8. Fine. Now let's see what else is clear. The number of students enrolled only in L is double the number of students enrolled in all 3 sports. Only in L is 8. This is double of this. This should be 4. These 2 add up to 10. Sorry, these 3 add up to 10. So this plus this should add up to 6. That much we know. And now let us look at the other constraint. The maximum student enrollment is in L. Then let's see which one is the next one to open up. The 10 students enrolled in G are also enrolled in at least one more sport. This plus 4 plus this should be 10, or these 2 add up to 6. We call this as x. This will be 6 minus x. Right? So now we get some more clarity. 7x, 6 minus x, 4. These 3 add up to 10. This is 8. Now let's look at the next constraint. The number of students enrolled only in K is equal to the number of students who are enrolled in both K and L. So if we put this number as say y, this will be y minus 4. These 2, y minus 4 plus 4 adds up to y. These 2 put together should be equal to y. So this is y, this is 4, this should be y minus 4. With this, we can possibly figure out one of x or y, because we know that the total is 39. And the total is 39. 7 plus 10, 17 plus 8, 25 plus 2y minus 4. 25 plus 2y minus 4 is 39. Or 2y is 39 minus 21, which is 18, or y is 9. How did we get 25? 7 plus 10, 17 plus 8, 25 plus y minus 4 plus y is 39, or y is 9. This is 9 and This is 5. Fine. Wonderful. We've got this far. We filled in every number possible. We have only one constraint that we have not accounted for, which is the maximum student enrollment is in L. Right? So number of students enrolled in L, 8 plus 5, 13, 13 plus 4, 17, plus 6, 23, 23 minus X. Enrolled in K is 9 plus 5, 14, 14 plus 4, 18, 18 plus X. And G is 17. Now, 23 minus X should be greater than 17. 23 minus X should be greater than 18 plus X. Obviously, this is a better constraint because X cannot be negative. So 18 plus X is more than 17 any which way. So let's plug in that constraint and get some value going for X. And so we know that 23 minus X is greater than 18 plus X. 23 minus 18 is greater than X plus X. 2X is less than 5. X is less than 5 by 2. 5 by 2 is 2.5. We're looking for integer values of X. X could be 2, 1 or 0. Maybe there'll be some constraint which says it cannot be 0, but right now we'll account for 0 also. X can be 2, 1 or 0. Everything else we know, and we also know that X could be 0, 1 or 2. Keep that in mind. Now, beyond this, we cannot go with a set of constraints given. We filled quite a few numbers, and we have 2 open cells with 3 possibilities totally. Now let's jump in and solve these questions. What is the minimum number of students enrolled in both G and L but not in K? In G and L but not in K, we want minimum of 6 minus X. X can take values only 0, 1 or 2. If X were 2, this would be small. So 6 minus 2 is 4. Minimum value of G minus X is 4. That's what we're looking for. And once you've got the entire set theory diagram built in, then this question becomes far simpler. The number of students enrolled in K and L are in the ratio 19:22. 19:22. Then what is the number of students enrolled in L? 19:22. L has 23 minus X. K has 18 plus X. This ratio is 19:22 or X equal to 1. Number of students registered in L. L is 23 minus X, 22. Done. We needn't have done any of this. The ratio 19:22. We're talking about integers. It could only be 22. Nothing else is possible. Due to academic pressure, students who were enrolled in all 3 sports were asked to withdraw from one of the 3 sports. After the withdrawal, the number of students enrolled in G was 6 less than the number of students enrolled in L, while the number of students enrolled in K went down by 1. So all 3, these are distributed away. They're asked to deregister for one course or remove their names from one course. They're supposed to withdraw themselves. These 4 are going to get distributed across this, this, and this. The number for K drops by 1, or one of the students withdraws from K. That means one student goes here. From 4, 1 goes here. The other 3 need to go here and here. So if 1 goes here, this is going to become 7 minus X. Right? Now we don't know how many go here and what go here. Totally 3 disappear here. Right? So this number, this should, if you can account for one other variable, if you say M students come here, then 3 minus M students go here. Totally 3 students go away from here into here. So let's rejig this diagram. Bang in the middle is 0. This becomes 7 minus X. So 1 has gone here. Some M go here. Some 3 minus M go here. Fine, brilliant. So 3 plus X minus M is this region. This is 0. 7 minus X, 5 plus M, etc., etc., etc. Now we know we've accounted for the idea that the number of students enrolled in K went down by 1. We have not accounted for the idea that number of students enrolled in G was 6 less than the number enrolled in L. G is 7, 14 minus X plus 3, 17 plus X minus X and plus X get cancelled. G would be 17 minus M. The total number of students in G would be 17 minus M. Number of students in L would be 8 plus 7, 15 plus 5, 20. 20 plus M minus X. The difference is 6. Obviously, the number of students in L is higher. So 20 plus M minus X minus 17 minus M is 6. This is 3 plus 2M minus X is 6, or 2M equals X plus 3. Minus X comes this side, becomes X. 6 minus 3 is 3. 2M is an even number. X plus 3 should be an even number. We know X can take only values 0, 1 and 2. So X has to be 1. Only 1 plus 3 is an even number in this category, in this set. Or X is 1, which makes M to be equal to 2. How many students were enrolled in both G and K? G and K is 3 plus X minus M. 3 plus 1 minus 2. 4 minus 2, 2. Due to academic pressures, students who are enrolled in all 3 sports were asked to withdraw from 1. The number in K dropped by 1. L is greater than G by 6. It's exactly the same text. How many students were enrolled in both G and L? G and L is 7 minus X. We know that X is 1. 7 minus X is 7 minus 1, which is 6. Wonderful set. If you're comfortable with set theory, you should be jumping at this set. It should be very doable. So you should know the chance of finding one set theory puzzle out of 8 is very high. So if you do a bunch of questions, then you know whether you're at home with that type of question. If you are, you should jump in, nail that, and then carry on from there. Letter codes, fine. First up, I didn't really get this set. It took me a while, but it's a wonderful set. A lot of fun solving this. Peacock is designated as the national bird of India. Is coded like this. Fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2. So it matches word to word. This coding scheme has the following rules. The scheme is case insensitive. So there's no capital or small. If capital P is 5, small p is also 5. Maybe I shouldn't have selected P. Each letter has a unique code, which is a single digit from among 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if A is equal to say 7, then A will always be 7. A cannot be 7 or 9. Right? There are 26 letters mapped to 9 digits. Right? Each letter is mapped to a unique digit. Right? The digit 9 codes 2 letters. Every other digit codes 3 letters. Oh, wonderful. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way till 8. They code 3 letters each, accounting for 24 letters. 9 accounts for 2 letters, plus 2, 26. The code for a word is constructed by arranging the digits corresponding to its letters in a non-decreasing sequence. Oh, wonderful. This is a very interesting criteria. So if you're told peacock is this, it doesn't mean that P is 5 and E is 6 and A is 8. It doesn't work like that. We write down all the numbers for peacock and then we arrange them in non-decreasing order, ascending order effectively, but with equal numbers put in together. So it is 5, 6, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9. Right, wonderful. And then we answer a bunch of questions following that. Right, so let's think about this. The best place to start is going to be the short letters, short words. Is, as, the, of. Is and as probably wonderful places to start because both of them have S. Is 3, 5. AS is 5, 6. S is common. S is equal to 5. Or 5 is equal to S. Both ways you can write this. 5 is coded as S or S is coded as 5. And 5 could be S and 2 more letters. S can only be 5. And S is 3, 5, S is 5, 3 is I, or I is 3. A is 6, 6 corresponds to A. You can write it anyway. 6 is A and 2 other letters.
3 is I and 2 other letters. Right? And then we go step by step. Fine. So first step we've attacked is and as. With that we get I, S and A. Wonderful. We've got I, S and A. Right? Build from that. THE, the is also a good starting point. THE is 4, 5, 8 in some order. Right? Now think about this. We find a word which has either T and H or H and E or only T, only H, only E. We can go somewhere with that. Right? So think about whether we can tweak that in some form. Right? So OFF is OF, which is 7 and 9. National has an O in it. That could give us something. So work with that framework if you have not tried it so far. OFF and national gives away a big deal. OFF has an O, it is 7 and 9. National has 1, 3, 6, 6, 6, 6, 8, 9. This does not have a 7 in it. And so if O were 7, it should have been 7, or O goes with 9, F goes with 7. 7 is F and 9 is O. Brilliant. This is very useful. Likewise with the and designated, you can make an inference. So, right? These three we've done. Right? The and designated. THE is 4, 5, 8. Designated has a T and an E. It has a 5 and an 8, but it does not have a 4, or 4 is equal to H. Brilliant. So we've got 4 is H, 5 is S, 3 is I, 6 is A. T and E are 5 and 8. Fine. So T and E are 5 and 8. Is there any other word that has T and E? And we can figure out how we can simplify that. This has a T and 2 E's. Fine. It has only 1 8, but it has 2 5's. Fine. Or we can say 8 is T and 5 is E. And so it has lots of 5's, but only 1 8. It has 2 E's. If E were 8, it would have had to have 2 E's. So T is 8 and 5 is E. 5 is S also and E also. 8 goes with T. Fine. O and F, we've already drawn the inference. 9 is O because there is no 7 in this number. 7 is F. Right? With THE, we had made the inference that 8 is T and E is 5. 5 is E. Brilliant. So we've computed this many different variants. I'm going to think about what else we can infer beyond whatever we've done so far. And step by step, we have BIRD going with 1, 3, 3, 4. I is 3, that goes off. B, D and R. 1, 3, 4. And so B, D and R, 1, 3, 4. There is something between BIRD in common with designated. That could be D, but still have B and R going. So we'll have to probably hold that off for a second. Right? Let's see what else we can infer. Right? T and E we have done. Right? T is 8 and E is 5. That much we have inferred. 6 is 1 second. I'm just going to go back one step. Let's look at India. INDIA. We know I is 3. This is 1, 3, 3, 6, 6. I is 3, 3. We have NDA to be 1, 6, 6. A is 6. That is gone. N and D are 1 and 6. Fine. National is 1, 3, 6, 6, 6, 6, 8, 9. That's a 1 and a 6. That doesn't work. N and D are 1 and 6. BIRD is 1, 3, 3, 4. There is a D sitting here in both of these. Only one is common, or D is 1, N is 6. 6 is A and N. 1 would be equal to D. Fine. So I is 3 and D is 1. So B and D are 3, 4. Sorry, B and R are 3, 4. Fine. In some order, we'll have to still figure that out. Fine. So far, so good. We've made inferences about H, S, E, T, D, O, I, A and N, both are 6, F is 7. Fine. Now is probably time for us to, we've already made inferences about T and E, because T, H, E, T and E, there's no H here, H is 4, T and E are 5 and 8. With that, we've made a further inference based on, one second, T and E are 5 and 8. Designated has 2 E's, only 1 8. So T is 8 and E is 5. This is E, 8 is T. Now let's go word by word. Let's look at peacock. P-E-A-C-O-C-K. We know O is 9. We know E is 5. A is 6. We don't know C, C, K and P. Right? So we have a 5, 6, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9 here. 1, 9 goes away. 5 and 6 go away. For E, A, O. P, C, C, K. P, C, C, K are 8, 8, 9, 9. Right? Remember, 9 goes with only 2 letters. Right? So 9 has to be C. Wonderful. Why has 9 to be C? If 9 were 8, sorry, if C were 8, then K and P would have to be 9. 9 would then have 3 letters. That's not possible. 9 has only 2 letters. So 9 has to be C. So P and K are 8 and 8. 8 would be T, P, K. Brilliant. We've got peacock completely covered. P-E-A-C-O-C-K is, we know, matches with this. Now let's think about designated. Let's go word by word. Designated. D-E-S-I-G-N-A-T-E-D. We know D is 1. E is 5. S is 5. I is 3. G we don't know. N is 6. A is 6. T is 8. E is 5. D is 1. If we reorder this, 1, 1, 3, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, dash 8, or G, the missing letter should be 7. 7 is G. We already have 7 for O, 7 is F, sorry, 7 for F and 7 for G. Right? Now we go to national, N-A-T-I-O-N-A-L. N is 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. N is 6, A is 6. So 4 6s in a row in national. These 4 have been accounted for. I is 3. This 3 has been accounted for. O is 9. That means this 9 has been accounted for. T is 8. This has been accounted for. L has to be 1. Or 1 is D and L. Brilliant. Bird, we know B and R have to be 3 and 4. Everything else we've covered. B and R should be 3 and 4 in some order, but we do not know which is which. They occur only once. There's no B, no R anywhere else in this whole sequence. So B and R are 3 and 4 in some order. And so 3 could be B and R could be 4, or the other way around. With a number of letters, with no other clue to clarify this for us. Fine. Wonderful. We've got this far. Now let's go to the questions. What best can be concluded about the code for L? L is 1. The last thing that, one of the last things we inferred, L is 1. Done. What best can be concluded for the letter B? B is either 3 or 4. Done. How many digits can the complete list of letters associated with that digit be identified? 9 is O and C. That is done. 8 is T, C, K. That is done. Fine. 1 is not done, 2 is far from done, 2 is not available, 3 is not done, 4 is not done, 5 is not done, 6 is not done, 7 is not done. So only 8 and 9, 2 letters. Choice 2. Which set of letters cannot be coded with the same digits? Fine. So S, U, V. S is 5. We cannot have S, U, V all being 5 because S and E are 5. S, E, U, V cannot all be 5 because there will be 4 letters. This is the answer choice. I want to think about whether these are possible. X, Y, Z. We've not allotted 2 to anything. X, Y, Z can all be 2. S, E, Z, that is possible. S and E are already 5. Z could also be 5. I, B, M. I is 3. B could be 3. M could be made to be 3. This is also possible. So these 3 are possible. The first one is not possible because S and E are already 5. We cannot have U and V also to be 5. There will become 4 letters for 5 and that doesn't work. Amusement park tickets. As ever, make sure you have tried this set before you jump in and see the solution. Otherwise, there's no point. Right? Each visitor to an amusement park needs to buy a ticket. Tickets can be platinum, gold, or economy. Visitors are classified as old, middle-aged, or young. The following facts are known about visitors and ticket sales on a particular day. And tickets are platinum, gold, or economy. 3 classes: old, middle-aged, or young. And so straight away you're thinking, is this some kind of set theory question? Right? But this is not a set theory question. So think about this. Tickets can be platinum, gold, or economy. These look like classifications that will not overlap. Visitors classified as old, middle-aged, or young. Once again, classifications that do not overlap. Fine. If you're saying somebody can be somebody can like cars, some people can like buses, some people can like taxis, then there can be overlap. But tickets, platinum, gold, or economy, so there's unlikely to be an overlap across these, unlikely to be an overlap across this. And so keep that in mind. So we need to be able to draw out the template very early on in these kind of questions. Right? The following facts are known about visitors and ticket sales on a particular day. 140 tickets were sold. The number of middle-aged visitors was twice the number of old visitors, while the number of young visitors was twice the number of middle-aged visitors. Right? So middle-aged is twice old visitors. So if old was X, middle-aged is 2X. Young visitors was twice the number of middle-aged visitors. Young is 4X. 7X is 140 or X is 20. Straight away we've got this classification. Right? Young visitors bought 38 of the 55 economy tickets that were sold, and they bought half the number of platinum tickets that were sold. Wonderful. So this now, after seeing this statement, we know that it's going to be classified as old, middle-aged, young, and platinum, gold, economy. We put the totals here and the totals here. The overall total is 140. That's how we are going to capture this data. The total old age is 20, total middle age is 40, total young is 80, adding up to 140. The total economy tickets is 55, young economy is 38, and then we fill the rest of the details from there. And so now I've got the template. I'm going to draw out this table and then fill the data in. Then we'll go to the questions. Right? So old, middle age, young, we know that this is 20, this is 40, this is 80. We know economy is 55, of which young is 38. The young, they bought half the total number of platinum tickets that were sold. So the total number of platinum were 2Y. This would be Y. And so beautiful. We're just filling some of the data in, and then 2Y and Y. Wonderful. The number of gold tickets bought by old visitors was equal to the number of economy tickets bought by old visitors. Gold is equal to economy. If this is Z, this is Z, this is Y, this is 2Y. Right?
Now let's fill the rest of the details in whatever we can with the same variables. This is 2y, 140, 55. 140 minus 55 is 85. From 85 we knock off 2y. This will be 85 minus 2y. 80 minus 38 is 42. This is y. This is 42 minus y. And this is 55. This is 38 gone. So 17 remaining. This is z. This will be 17 minus z. 2z gone from 20. This will be 20 minus 2z. We can find this in terms of these variables, this in terms of these variables, add these up, get to 40, we're getting somewhere. Fine. So this is the broad outline that we will have. So I'm going to fill in these data points. And so this we know is 85 minus 2y. This is 20 minus 2z. And now it is already clear that we cannot fill in all the data sets. So that we have only 4 pieces of information. We know the totals, which is very helpful. We know that this is 2y and this is y. We know these two are equal. We know this is 38 and 55. From that, we've made this inference vis-a-vis z using z. And we have made this based on this equation. And we can find this in terms of z and y. We can find this in terms of y and z once again. So we can use all of this information. But we're not going to go any further than having these variables. We're not going to be able to completely fill the grid with numbers. We're not going to know that this is 23 and this is 8 and etc, etc, etc. We're not going to be able to fill numbers into this grid slot. So we're going to retain whatever expressions we have completed so far and then try to solve the rest of the questions from there. Wonderful. So if you have seen this far, fill this grid to this point and then look to answer questions after that. We filled in the broad outline of the values into the different cells using the variables y and z. So we know that these two are equal, z and z. So this should be 20 minus 2z. This is y, so this is 42 minus y. These three add up to 140. This is 85 minus 2y. So we can find this also in terms of y and z because these two will add up to this. And this in terms of y and z, and by linking that this should add up to 40. We're not doing all that. We'll come to that. Maybe we don't need to fill this because there are too many variables in. We know that we cannot get to the individual answers. The simpler cells we have filled in. Right? The number of old visitors buying platinum tickets was a number of middle-aged visitors buying platinum tickets. Old platinum is equal to middle-aged platinum. Then which among the following could be the total number of platinum tickets sold? So this is 20 minus 2z. This should also be 20 minus 2z. These two add up to y, or y should be equal to 40 minus 4z. 20 minus 2z plus 20 minus 2z. These two together add up to y. We have another y remaining. We need to find 2y. And so 2 times y is 2 times 40 minus 4z, or this is 4 times 20 minus 2z, or this 8 times 10 minus z, or this number should clearly be a multiple of 8. So the only possible value is 32. That's a multiple of 8. Answer choice A works. These three are not multiples of 8. The other way of thinking about it, this is an even number, and we are looking at 4 times an even number. Even number is a multiple of 2. 4 times an even number has got to be a multiple of 8. The number of old visitors buying gold tickets was strictly greater than the number of young visitors buying gold tickets. The number of middle-aged visitors buying gold tickets was old buying gold tickets strictly greater than young buying gold tickets. And so Z is strictly greater than 42 minus y, or Z plus y is greater than 42. We need to find this cell. You don't even know what we are finding. So let's find that cell in terms of maybe y and z, and then we'll come back to this. This cell here is going to be 85 minus 2y minus 42 minus y minus z. 85 minus 42 is 43. Minus 2y plus y is minus y minus z. Or this is 43 minus of y plus z. Now, we know that y plus z is greater than 42. We know that the number we are looking for is 43 minus of y plus z. This number cannot be negative. y plus z is greater than 42. The minimum it can take is 43. This were 43, this number would be 0. There is no other possibility because it cannot be negative. The minimum value y plus z can take is 43. So there's only one possibility for this. Y plus z will be equal to 43. Number of middle-aged visitors buying gold tickets was 0. Wonderful question, because we simplified this, we simplify this. Luckily enough, the moment you simplify this and this, we know that this inequality effectively means that y plus z can only be 43. Only one possibility exists. The number of old visitors buying platinum tickets was equal to the number of middle-aged visitors buying economy tickets. Old buying platinum is middle-aged buying economy. Then the number of old visitors buying gold tickets was, and this seems an easy question. We know that 20 minus 2z equals 17 minus z, and we need to find z. Or 20 minus 17 is minus z plus 2z. 3 equals z. Z is 3. We've got 3 as the answer. That's a fairly simple question if you fill the right variables in. Which of the following statements must be false? A very interesting question, tricky question. So let's go step by step. The numbers of gold and platinum tickets bought by young visitors were equal. Young visitors, gold and platinum were equal. These two should be equal. These two add up to 42. This should be 21. This should be 21. That means this should be 22. Sorry, this should be 2y, 42. 21, 21, 42. 85 minus 2y. This is 43. So far, so good. This is 42. This is 43. 42 plus 43 is 85 plus 55, 140. 21, 21, 38. That seems to work. Nothing seems to be going anomalously wrong so far. And so maybe something else will go wrong. Maybe something else will break down. But I'm going to keep the pin on it and say, okay, I'll revisit this. Maybe some other choices is very obviously false. So I'll jump on that. Otherwise, I'll come back and see this. So far, everything seems to work. Go to the second statement. The number of middle-aged and young visitors buying gold tickets were equal. Middle-aged and young buying gold. So this is also 42 minus y. And so this is 85 minus 2y. These two add up to 84 minus 2y. That means this is 1. This is 1. That means this is 18. And so we've got z is 1. This is 16, therefore. So this seems to be fine. This seems to be fine. We may be able to put some value of y and then fill everything else out. Once again, we do not know that this has to be false. Nothing, no dead giveaway here either. Again, we'll revisit this. We fill these numbers. If all four statements take us to a dead end, then we'll come back here and revisit and see where it could break down. But as of now, we're not able to see an obvious point where it could break down. Let's go to statement C. The number of old and middle-aged visitors buying economy tickets were equal. Old and middle-aged buying economy. Old economy, middle-aged economy. These two add up to 17. Because 38 out of 55 are accounted for. They cannot be equal. So this one is obviously false. We don't even have to process it completely. This is most definitely false. I'm answering C. We don't really have to re-evaluate A and B. And for the sake of completion, I'm going to look at D as well, but I'm confidently marking C without going back to see whether A and B can be wrong somewhere else because of some other reason. Statement D, the numbers of old and middle-aged visitors buying platinum tickets were equal. These two are equal. We've already done this. Be y by 2 and y by 2. 20 minus 2z, 20 minus 2z. There seemed to be nothing wrong. The total seemed to be 32. Nothing wrong here either. This is a statement that is most obviously false. That's the one we are looking for. So it's a classic set. It's a tough set. Two questions were very tough. Initially, when I tried the set, I thought it was very easy. Everything is going to get filled in and just going to mark down the answers. The question number 2 really threw me off. It's a wonderful, wonderful set.